It's Lino. I won't ever. Yo. I won't never stop, getting all this money when I win. I won't never stop, lifting all these weights up in the gym. I won't never stop, fucking all these bitches making kids. I won't never stop, nigga, I just get it how I live. I won't never stop, getting all this money when I win. I won't never stop, lifting all these weights up in the gym. I won't never stop, fucking all these bitches making kids. I won't never stop, nigga, I just get it how I live. I won't never stop, making all these niggas fucking mad. I be screenshooting your message and I'll post it on the gram. I won't never stop, making all this music on demand. Yeah, I re-up once a week, my nigga, that's a couple grand. I won't never stop, yeah, I love being a good dad. I be cherishing these moments, I enjoy it when I laugh. I won't never stop, moving all these weights and all these pounds. I feel envy all around, it's the peons in this town. I won't never stop, I enjoy the smile while you frown. Getting everything you want while you go turn that ass around. I won't never stop, gunning, yeah, I'm going for the crown. I'm the king of all this shit, that's why you dressed up as a clown. I won't never stop, never. I won't never stop, never, never, never. Yeah, I won't ever, yeah, I won't never stop. I be smoking on the best weed. Every time I sell it to your girl, it's 100 a G. I won't never stop, giving all these bitches free weed. I be sliming hoes out, I just love it when they bleed. I won't never stop, they call me Michael Jordan with the B. I be punching niggas out and I ain't talking about Creed. I won't never stop, my name is always buzzing like a bee. Every time I see you niggas, you ain't with no honeys. I won't never stop, I pull up and they go and run and flee. Let me spell my name for you, F-R-A-N-K-I-E. I won't never stop, always aim the best at what I do. Nigga, suck a dick or two, nigga, who the fuck is you? I won't never stop, getting all this money when I win. I won't never stop, lifting all these weights up in the gym. I won't never stop, fucking all these bitches making kids. I won't never stop, nigga, I just get it how I live. I won't never stop, getting all this money when I win. I won't never stop, lifting all these weights up in the gym. I won't never stop, fucking all these bitches making kids. I won't never stop, nigga, I just get it how I live. Get it? I won't never stop, never, ever. What was that? Oh yeah. I won't never stop, making all you cocky, I be rude. I'm just playing, I fucked that whole up. Alright guys, welcome back. Alright guys, the part 2 as promised. Part 2 as promised. God damn. Part 2. We sat here for an hour and a half. We still got fucking... We only did an hour and 15 minutes. This shit still got 2 hours and 36 minutes to go. Let's see if we can nail this out real quick before I go to the gym. Alright, ready? We're back at it.
The streets. In fact, he would
I
wear
gotta
the
do a
badge of
fucking
killer
dab.
who beat a body with pride. And after killing an alleged 7 people in total, when Von got out of jail, it would be time for a new beginning, as the newly free King Von would take all of his stories from being a killer on the streets of Chicago and put them into songs. Becoming a Chicago drill rapper with so much credibility as a gangster, his music simply could not be ignored. And soon, all over Chicago and around the world, Von's name would be ringing, as people would begin to discover what appeared to be the realest gangster rapper who ever lived. After being acquitted of all charges in the murder of Malcolm Stuckey, King Von would walk out of jail a free man once again around the 6th of December 2017, being seen walking fresh out of the gates on social media. Von would also return to Twitter as well as the streets, telling 16 Shot and Visuals that his friend E-Dog from O-Block picked him up and the first thing they did was go and buy a gun.
I want a block. Who can give me E-Dog? I want a block. And got some, I got a gun. Attach me to they gonna kill me.
At the time of his release, Von wasn't yet a rapper. It's unclear if Von ever really had aspirations of transitioning from shooter to rapper. On the one hand, there's old tweets where he perhaps jokingly said that him and T-Roy had planned to release music, but nothing ever materialized. On the other hand, he had also tweeted that if he ever starts rapping, you should kill the person closest to you, because something ain't right. So it's safe to say that at least initially, Von's plans were not music. At least not for himself, because one person...
I had to go pay rent.
I had to take the dog to the groomer. I had to go get some food. We're going back at it, guys. I'm sorry.
Who hadn't forgotten Von during his long 3.5 years in jail was his childhood friend and Chicago rap superstar Lil Durk, who had tweeted his support for Von whilst he was still in jail fighting his charges, and apparently calling him regularly, even providing money for a lawyer. Durk would welcome Von home from jail with open arms, with Von actually revealing later that his friendship with Durk had initially had an ulterior motive, and that at first he was just planning to hang around Durk and rob people that he knew just to get himself to $100,000.
I wasn't no rapper, so it wasn't none of that rapper shit. I'm thinking like, I just need to get 100,000. I'm gonna be decent. I'm gonna rob this, and I'm trying to rob this other. And this is what I was thinking in jail when I was, before I got to jail, talk to your homie in jail. They say, what you gonna do? I say, I'm gonna go around Dirt, and I'm just gonna catch me. I'm gonna go around Dirt, and I'm gonna catch me like 2-3 more. You see what I'm saying? And Dirt, I ain't gonna let him know because he gonna try to stop me.
After coming home from jail, music was the last thing on Von's mind. He just wanted to get money to flex his newfound freedom.
He was going to rob Dirk friends to come up.
On Instagram, with pictures celebrating his freedom, attracting threats from his enemies like FBG Cash. But it seemed that Von's friends would be looking out for him, and no one was looking out for Von more during this time than Lil Durk, who would invite Von into his life and entourage as he continued his rise as one of Chicago's most promising rappers. Durk was working on his 2018 mixtape Just Cause Y'all Waited, and that tape featured the classic track Durky-O Crazy. Soon after getting out of jail, Von would be sitting in the back of Durk's car previewing this future classic before it was released. Perhaps the reason that Durk wanted to play Von this track is because the song itself references Von's case, with Durk rapping that a witness went missing and now Von is coming home. Once again, Von's real life of crime was providing inspiration for Chicago's biggest rappers. Clearly Durk was inspired by the return of his newly freed hitter and would continue spending time with him. Later that day, in the same Instagram live, King Von would explain to Durk how he grew his hair in jail just to keep himself warm, and explaining just how painful the shackles were that he was forced to wear whilst in solitary confinement.
It was cold them nights. It was cold them nights. For them great, I'm under that blanket. Ooh, it was ugly. Ankle still got that scar on it. Look for the thing. The shackles, them killing.
Going to court?
In the hole, you gotta wear shackles.
Oh, no?
Man, everything.
Every day?
What?
Every time you come out.
Oh.
Yeah, every day. You gotta get on the phone, you man.
This when you walk, people this.
Right. No, it'd be the back of my shit, cause my ankle's little as hell. I'm full on. Look, I got that peeling on.
Von would seemingly spend Christmas 2017 with Durk too, with them being seen together on social media, listening to classic Chicago drill anthems by LA Capone. Moving into 2018, Von started off in classic savage mode, posting on social media, toting guns, and declaring his desire to bring war to his ops. He had been seen on clips on social media, walking through O-Block and showing the world that he was still in these streets, untouched even after all of the people he had allegedly killed, even speculating on who was in the comments on these lives, his ops or the cops.
Oh, in that block. You know I'm with that block. Hey, y'all in the house, so it's home. I don't be knowing if these are fans or folks them. Folks knocking like fans.
As January went on, Von would continue to flex his muscles on social media, and he would be seen listening to NBA Young
call 6 bodies still walking around like 6'9".
Mona Duke, and telling followers that they were smoking their dead ops.
A lot of your dead mans. Phone them. Superman, goddamn it, Brickman, Kobe Man.
And we strapped up.
And we strapped up.
Clearly, Von was still in the streets initially. After enjoying some time in Atlanta with Lil Durk, once he'd returned to Chicago in February, he'd quickly find himself in trouble, tweeting that he was riding around with a gun and weed. Then he would end up getting arrested at O-Block on February the 14th, 2018, the 1-year anniversary of T-Roy's death. With this arrest taking place soon after he tweeted that he was in O-Block and armed on the anniversary of T-Roy's murder. Von would be arrested on charges of shooting and bodily harm, with cops claiming that he ran from them and threw a gun, battering them in the process of the arrest, with the body cam footage of this arrest later becoming public, which showed a menacing King Von telling the police with pride that he just beat a body in 2 attempted murders.
So this is John when we were chasing, but on video they went back, went under the cars where we think he ditched it, got in the vehicle, we stopped the vehicle, get him out, battery, fight with that, vehicle takes off on us when we got this, and then we get about 50 people around us. So
What happened?
you're gonna go to jail for battery to a police officer.
Why it?
Me?
Where?
And you also.
Where at?
Thank you very much. We'll take
I've
it
been
then.
cuffed since I was in the cops. If I go home, it's Valentine's Day.
You got the plate number since you got it on tape, man?
When I go home, it's Valentine's Day.
I know, but I got a pen ready.
Come on, minute.
Switch them up.
2 N's, 2 T's.
Watch it, because he's gonna.
You live here?
Hey, Vaughn, you ain't want me living here now. I live in Atlanta.
What?
You got a middle?
Yeah, why, you guys want it?
How about date of birth?
August 9th.
And she was here the whole time videotaping.
94.
Oh, for majority, but not when we got him out of the car.
I'm a fucking wax. Hold on, BRB. I gotta go to the fridge and get my wax.
I cuffed him this
Yes, the shit I smoke, you gotta keep in the fucking fridge.
What were you locked up for?
Body and 2
I'm sorry?
You want it, you're gonna have it.
You're gonna want to cuff him in the back.
Yeah.
He's,
Come on, about my
he's
car,
all
man.
kinds of fun.
Come on. Look out, look out. We got you.
Let go, stupid man.
No, we got you.
Let go.
Hey, we got it from here.
All right. You got locked up over here recently?
No, hell no.
What'd you locked up at?
Huh? I got it. J, I beat my case. I was charged with the person we murdered.
You on video right now, man.
It's cool.
Put your hands behind your back.
So what I'm getting charged with right now? Put that on video.
What are we smoking on today, folks?
Now I'm not under arrest.
Yes, you are.
For what?
Probably trespass over here
Yeah.
and hitting a guy.
Hitting who? Everybody got fur hood.
Grab the chop suey. Hold up. God damn, that shit's loud. God damn, that shit's loud. Chop suey. 73% THC. Legal in my state. Don't fucking ban me. Shadow ban me all you want. I don't really give a fuck. Whoosh. That's what the jar looks like. A real hit is be smoking. That shit's like 100 a gram. Woo!
Thank you.
All right. Where's your coat, man?
He asked him, man. The super cop.
Where's his coat?
It's in the back seat of the Infinity.
It's gone?
They took off, yeah.
He liked this shit. It just seems like he's in like this is
After
normal
the
for him.
arrest,
He
a
likes that shit.
furious-looking King Von mugshot circulated online, but Von would be out within just a couple of days, tweeting that he believes that the cops have it out for him because he escaped those murder charges, and he would boast that he would never let them get him. Clearly, King Von wasn't ready to permanently move on from his life as an O-Block hitter, and he would still be going live on O-Block in March 2018, mocking their dead ops.
Right. Who got Tuka Man? That's what we need. Hurry to Tuka Man! My show got Trent, Poppy, Trey. I can't be in no room without smelling Tuka. I gotta at least smell it for them just to know like Tuka's still around. In love and memory of Tuka.
But Von would also continue to be seen hanging out closely with Lil Durk, seemingly making regular trips to spend time with the rapper in Atlanta. At a certain point, Von and Durk would be reunited with another friend and feared Chicago shooter, THF Bezu, with Bezu, just like Von, beating a 2014 murder charge for a shooting that occurred in 2009. Lil Durk was now rolling with 2 certified Chicago shooters on his team. But the plan wasn't to shoot. Durk planned instead to transform these hardened street figures into rap superstars. The realest rappers who had ever rapped, with the realest backstories to back it up. Von would post pictures in the studio with Durk, saying that he isn't going back to his old ways, and hinting to an upcoming career in the rap game. Since beating his murder case and coming home, Von had the perfect backstory to kickstart his music career too. THF Bezu had essentially been through the very same situation, so Von and Bezu would be paired up and placed into a studio where they would record a song all about their shared experience beating real-life murder charges, something that Von and Bezu would open up about in a 16-shot interview.
Me and some used to be bodies and like, that's the story we can tell. They charged us with some bodies we ain't doing shit, we beat them.
On May the 27th, 2018, King Von and THF Bezu released their first song, Beat That Body, a track coming with shocking lyrics where Von essentially admits to catching bodies, beating them, and even saying that he now plans to catch more. This insane backstory would be irresistible for Chicago drill fans, with Durk later revealing that people instantly went crazy for Von's music in Chicago.
And he see like us what we doing is music, and I had a studio in my house. He just tried it, and when he dropped the song, like the reaction was just like, he nailed it. He on to something, you know what I'm saying?
But Von didn't seem too hopeful for his rap career to begin with, barely promoting the song, and seemingly having no plans to give up his full-time job as an O-Block driller, or at least shot caller, because in the months that followed Von's musical debut, killings would still continue to play out in the streets, with Von appearing to remain plugged into the action. Not only giving Von and his gang even more credit in the streets, but with these murders also providing Von with the inspiration to get back into the booth, where he would continue to record music all about the deadly violence that he would soon become famous for.
Okay.
Quando would also say that he didn't know about T-Roy's death, with 2 certified Chicago shooters on his team, but the plan was
I want to see that.
Chicago. 10,000 inmates housed in the country's largest single-site jail.
Hey, King Von, what's up, gang? You already know how we coming, man.
So what you on, bro?
It was only 4 years ago.
Shout out Get Back Game, man.
That shit was only 4 years ago.
What the fuck going on? That's us, dumb.
Beat the body, now the trippers call me Rocky. Shout out the members, them my motherfucking partners. We gon' have speed, ain't no fucking pulling over. Pull up on 50-50, we catch a scam and poke 'em.
Oh boy, what the fuck I'm known for? Caught a body, beat that body, catch some more. Lil Savage in me ain't never fucking gone. Mask up, they can't tell who fucking scorn.
I know I beat it when they took away my
You can tell that they don't know how to rap, bro.
When
Holy
they see
shit.
me, they just run. Get off the dot, we slap the city with them drums. Lay in the cut and
Sorry, this is mad loud.
See, I'm still blasting, ain't no passes, bullets everlasting. You want that smoke, then you can have it, I ain't never stingy. We keep them glizzies, they know high points, cause they always jamming. The odds be friendly, they some groupies, them little niggas fanning.
Rest in peace to Chino Dollars, do hits in the Impalas. If we spot him, then we got him, he won't see tomorrow. Why he talking out his neck like 4-6 ain't a problem? You talk to us, we do you dirty, ain't no feeling sorry.
King Von, they Duke on the hit, he like King Kong, Draco shells. I was selling dope, I got 3 phones, street nigga. I been off the drug, they took T home, snitch cake. I just talked to Didi, he gon' be home, gang. Gang.
Jesus. That compared to where he is right now is crazy. Or where he was before he died.
While King Von was in jail, numerous people from O-Block ended up getting killed. Perhaps it was precisely because their most fearless shooter was in jail that so many people ended up passing while he was gone. Von was particularly hurt by the killing of T-Roy, his right-hand man. And after T-Roy was killed, a new set of gangsters would form in O-Block who went by the name Get Back Gang. This was a hardened crew of shooters whose sole focus was to get revenge or get back for the murder of T-Roy and other beloved O-Block natives who had been killed while Von was in jail. Another one of these fallen O-Block affiliates was Chino, who was shot dead on the 17th of July 2016. Another, Big A, was gunned down in a restaurant near O-Block on the 4th of December 2016. Get Back Gang would be on a killing spree trying to avenge their fallen friends, looking to kill anyone who played a role in their demise. Poppy, believed to have been involved in hits against O-Block, would be gunned down at work on the 16th of June 2017, allegedly being shot in the head by an O-Block member called Heck, who would go on to be known by the nickname HK or Headshot King. HK was T-Roy's brother and would reportedly avenge him, with T-Roy's alleged killer TB or Terry Barry being shot dead on the 26th of December 2017. However, HK himself would end up being killed in O-Block 2 just before Von got out of jail on the 24th of November 2017. Another person who seemingly lost their life to Get Back Gang's revenge campaign during this time would time would be FBG Brick, FBG Duck's brother, rumoured to have played a role in giving up T-Roy's location to the ops the day he was killed, with Brick and his friend Kobe being gunned down in a Get Back gang attack on the 17th of July 2017. In fact, many of these murders played out in 2017 whilst Von was still behind bars for the murder of Malcolm Stuckey. And when Von got out, despite becoming a rapper, spending time in Atlanta with Lil Durk, and seemingly taking a step away from the gang war, Von would still seem to be looked at as a senior figure and shot caller to members of O-Block and Get Back gang. And when they killed again, King Von would be on the sidelines celebrating the murder as if it was one of his own. On June the 13th, 2018, King Von would tweet saying that there's a new rule. You can only diss or smoke a dead person that you yourself actually killed. Only days after that tweet, Get Back gang would unfortunately claim another life. The next unlucky person to be killed would be a St. Lawrence native by the name of Can't Get Right, aka Man Man, real name DeAndre Wallace. On June the 15th, 2018, around 9:50 PM, Can't Get Right is waiting for food outside of a store on 400 block of East 63rd Street. At a certain point, two people pulled up and waited outside, and when the target was spotted, those two men ran up, opening fire, killing both the target as well as an innocent bystander that was just there sweeping up outside the restaurant. And once again, the shooting and immediate aftermath were captured on CCTV footage and by witnesses in clips that are far too grisly to show you on YouTube. Both men shot in the incident were pronounced dead at the University of Chicago Hospital, with the news even later reporting on this assassination.
This morning are looking for the gunman who killed two men overnight. They were standing outside of a store in the city's Woodlawn neighborhood when someone started shooting. A 43-year-old man was shot in the chest. He died at the hospital. The other victim, a 22-year-old, also died. Police say the 22-year-old is a known gang member and was the intended target.
King Von would go live on the same day as this double murder alongside Memo 600 while still in Atlanta with Lil Durk's team. And in this live, King Von would set out to poke fun at his murdered rivals immediately after they were killed. And let's not forget, only days before this, King Von tweeted that you can't disrespect the dead unless you played a role in killing them. With that in mind, King Von's livestream after the murder was truly a masterclass in self-incrimination. They would start the live off lighting a blunt and saying that their smoking can't get right and asking the viewers what just happened.
There you go, can't get right. There you go, there you go. Cause I can't get right.
Alright, everybody, not at one time. What just happened? What just happened?
A lot of glizzies and F's.
Oh, you right there with your hand. You tell me what happened. Who got killed? That's what I'm asking y'all. Who got killed, gang?
Yeah.
Can't get right, got killed.
Word. Can't get right, got
Hey, somebody show me a picture. I don't think I know y'all talking about. Is this
Is that Can't Get Right?
He's basically telling on himself.
Is this him? Is this Can't Get Right?
This ain't called snitching. I'm just trying to get verified. You get verification.
From here, people start commenting, "Can't get up." And it seems that the O-Block hitters are so amused by this wordplay, they essentially confess to being involved in the murder on the spot.
They tell some can't get up.
Do something, dude.
They always make some shit before we do it. They beat us to it every time.
Y'all should start killing people. Cause y'all be doing this. You doing the man.
Oh, Steve, this thing crazy.
After this, we see the crew say that it's 2 people down and that they're going to have to roll another one, whoever it is, seemingly unaware that it was an innocent cleaner who was killed in the incident.
They said 2 down. Damn.
2 men. That no, I can't take
David,
2.
they said it on both our lives.
I can barely take
David. 2 pieces? I can take one. Somebody roll another one.
Can't.
Whoever else got hit.
They even started reacting mockingly to the ops posting long tributes to their fallen friend on Instagram in real time in this live.
See that paragraph under that picture, you know it's over.
Damn, best friend, you just told me to pop out. I remember back in the days when you just told me to pop out, best friend. Why the f you do me like this? You bogus as hell. They ain't try to.
They gonna be dissing you. You better not get done like that.
From here, Von and his friends will continue mocking the ops by specific block and saying that the FN gave him a fresh fade like Lil Boosie.
Steady taking losses. STL. Steady taking losses. Motherfucker gave him a fresh fade. Boosie Boost. Hey, why did they even put him on Front Street like he was even like that though?
Then King Von comes back and says straight up that Man Man must have known he was going to die and that no one will care he's gone.
He probably knew he was gonna die. I wish I could talk to him for that. Don't nobody even care about Can't Get Right like that. I don't think they gonna slide like that. I don't think nothing finna happen because of that. So
they finna waste the rest of their money on that.
We ain't even gonna act like nothing finna happen. Just y'all gonna the house. Whoever ain't get shot, you lucky today.
phone going out. It's over.
After this, they even started reliving the hit, saying that their ops aren't used to somebody jumping out of the car and firing at them non-stop.
You ain't used to somebody just popping out a cut for real, looking
at your ass.
Really on your ass. You just get the flat past your you just want to do like one of these because you acting like you fake tough. But get the hitting you, you damn, this shit, I can't move.
Crump getting that there, little before they got you too.
Whilst King Von is on live bragging about this hit from another city, O-Block members Moowop posted a picture on Instagram with fellow member Duke saying that they are shooters. Meanwhile, E-Dog from O-Block jumped on Twitter to say that the get back is not over. Just the day after the murder, King Von tweeted saying that the stakes are higher now than ever and that the police have their eye on him. Von later tweeted claiming that his brothers made the new op pack, literally giving direct responsibility for this murder to his team. It seemed clear at this point that Von was not only happy about the killing that his friends from O-Block were doing, but he was actively encouraging it, and quite possibly the one giving the orders. Friends of Manwan would post outright saying that they believed King Von paid for the hit.
Doing all that, tap him up and see if he can get up and all that goof ass. You know what I'm talking about too.
Whoa. Do you guys feel that it was somebody from the other side that may have did it, or you think it was like a random act of violence in the city of Chicago?
You know who did it, man. All these in the city did it, man.
Okay.
That hate us. But they ain't gonna step outside them gates though. But they know. King Von. We gonna say his name. King Von.
But Von honestly didn't seem to care about anything at this point, and despite the fact that word was spreading...
Why do people talk in the camera? There's a camera in the room.
Von wasn't trying to keep
I'm not saying shit about nothing.
He was ready to broadcast that message
Hello
to
and
millions
goodbye.
of people. Because on July the 31st, 2018, Lil Durk's Only the Family Involved Volume 1 compilation album releases. The project featured many of Lil Durk's friends, including King Von, whose new song Problems would be included on the project. With this entire track being all about Von having hitters that catch bodies for him, even warning people, do not get bodied by me. The song essentially tells the story of O-Block shooters killing people on Von's command. The song also featured an intro where he shouted out "Get Back Gang," and there were lyrics about killing both the target and witnesses. Von would rap that killing is his hobby, and he says that his loyal shooters are the ones catching bodies for him. Von would also tease a music video for this track, which ended up dropping on Lil Durk's official YouTube channel on August the 9th, King Von's 24th birthday. Meanwhile, Lil Durk was impressed with King Von's murder raps, tweeting that Von was next up to break into the rap game. And this would be followed by Von telling fans that he would soon be dropping music with Lil Durk himself, and saying that he would be switching up and not associating with anyone he used to know.
Once this song with Durk drop, I'm acting like I don't know none of y'all. I'm acting funny. I'm changing up.
Durk was clearly seeing the potential in King Von's music, and from here, the two of them would be seen together on social media, having a good time and getting the fans more and more familiar with Durk's newest prospect.
Yeah, what the you talking about bodies and like that. Mermaid Man, Barnacle Boy. Come on, man. On phone them, get your cat dog looking ass on phone. Get your rat looking ass, big mouse looking ass on phone them. Mickey Mouse. Damn.
Von was beginning to lay the foundations for a successful rap career, but he also continued to be reckless. Around this time, Von is seen in a viral Instagram live clip telling a small child on O-Block to disrespect Tuka and training him to shoot people in the head with a water pistol.
Shoot him in his head. Shoot him in his head. You got a point right here. Boom. Say it. Gotta shoot him in his head. Shoot him. Shoot him. Say Tuka. Tuka. You shot Tuka?
That's messed up. That kid has no idea what he's saying.
Shoot him in his head.
After this, Von would tweet about having killers around him and posting pictures of his whole crew. And as Von's popularity grew, people would eventually annotate these pictures, speculating on how many people each O-Block member had killed. Naturally, all of this reckless behavior on social media brought even more police attention onto O-Block. By the end of August 2018, the block is hot, and King Von is seen on live observing arrests taking place on O-Block itself, even saying that he has his shoes tied in case he needs to run.
And I got my shoes tied. I'm getting out of there. They trying to find the secret recipe to the Krabby Patty secret plankton. They trying to find the secret formula to the Krabby Patty recipe. Damn, they took the truck. No, they ain't take the truck, man. Traffic man skirt. We gonna get another, we rich. Y'all can have that one. That's the one we don't even like. They're trying to see what we on. Tell me what's going on. Somebody gangbanging with us, BDK.
Von would tweet about not wanting to discuss murders on camera and suggesting that at this point the gang war must be over. But as we'd later find out, the war would be far from over. While King Von was making a name for himself as a rapper, still commanding his shooters from O-Block, he would continue to be associated with serious crimes from a distance, with the next incident involving one of his longest running enemies and a feared op of O-Block's, Wooski. King Von had started out October 2018 strong, fresh off the back of his song and music video Problems, where he appeared to celebrate his gang-murdering O-Block rival Can't Get Right. Von would continue pushing his career forward, dropping a full music video for his first song, Beat That Body with THF Bezu, which
we just watched that, that's why we watched it.
Jail together. Outside of the music, Von was also beginning to notice the many videos being made about him and his past, even resharing a YouTube video breaking down his Twitter beef with FBG Duck, seemingly unhappy. Clearly Von was monitoring his reputation on social media and cultivating his brand as the toughest rapper out, doing all of this whilst real violent crimes would continue to play out on the streets of Chicago where he was from. Just before 4 PM on October the 9th, 2018, Chicago rapper Dooski the Man, real name Ventrice Chris, would be shot in the head on the 5600 block of South Michigan Avenue, apparently the result of a drive-by carried out by a passing brown vehicle. The evening before the murder took place, Von would tweet that there's a dark cloud over Chicago. King Von would go on live a few days later with Lil Durk, saying that he's smoking Dooski, KI, Tuka, and P5.
A lot of Tuka men and shit like that.
Gang.
A lot of fat heads of Dooski in the L, a lot of KI in the L.
E-Dog in them.
A lot of P5 in them in the L. Dyke bitch, big A in the L. Okay, he got his foot up.
Know what's going on,
Put
man.
your foot down.
Hey, niggas know.
Oh, hey, ain't shit changed, man. You a gangster. Only gangsters eat that.
You a P, what you on?
You look nice. You looking real like
You
it's
look
Channel
like
Left.
a PG like us, a player gangster.
Damn, Channel Left man.
Violence was continuing to play out in the streets, and Von was loving it, because he would continue taking the details of killings his crew were allegedly involved in and placing them into musical gangbanging anthems. Just after a week after the Dooski shooting on October the 18th, he dropped a new song called War With Us, notable for lyrics that appear to take credit for the murder of female driller KI, as well as lines dissing Tuka, and Von ending the song literally saying that he is a hitman. Von was dangerous, but now he was beginning to make it as a rapper. He wanted the whole world to know just how dangerous he really was. And one of the biggest enemies he wanted to get even with is a Tukaville GD by the name of Wooski. Von and Wooski had been going back and forth all the way back to 2012, when Von was catching bodies in Chicago. Von and Wooski had an infamous exchange on Twitter after trying to catch each other lacking at the local convenience store. Von would tweet at Wooski, bragging about people Wooski knew who Von or his friends had killed, something that Wooski would do back to Von in response. In one shocking back and forth in 2012, Von even bragged to Wooski that he had more bodies and attempts than him, with the two arguing about who would end up getting killed first. Not only did Von and Wooski's feud in the streets run deep all the way back before 2012, but now that Von was trying to make it as a rapper, he would be contending with the likes of Wooski picking up a microphone too, with Wooski having dropped the very disrespectful song Computers at the start of 2018, a track that featured numerous lyrics insulting dead O-Block affiliates.
Did Wooski die? I'm not sure if Wooski died or not.
White, Chino,
if Wooski did die, that's a crazy tweet. If Wooski did die, that's a crazy tweet, because he literally said, "You gon' fall." King Von didn't say, "I'm not gonna fall." He said, "Not before you, though." So if Wooski died before King Von, like, they literally predicted their own deaths. Like, that shit's crazy.
The killers of Poppy and TB, two of the prominent murders seemingly committed by O-Block's Get Back gang. So, the beef between Von and Wooski was incredibly personal, and Wooski was also very close with the recently deceased Dooski, with them having made the song Shooters together. Just a few days after Dooski was killed, King Von and others from O-Block would FaceTime Wooski, telling him that they were going to catch him by surprise.
This your big brother, yeah, you know the going on. That's your big brother, you know. I wish I could say one of y'all was my boy. We got all goofies over there.
I ain't want to do it tonight on
What's y'all off the courage? What made y'all do it tonight? We gonna surprise. You talking about tonight. We gonna surprise, bro. Some bitches out for the free. But you talking about tonight.
So, from here, it seems like Wooski's ops hatched up a plot to shoot up Dooski's funeral because they knew that he would be there. On the afternoon of the 22nd of October, at Dusky's funeral, soon after this picture is taken, a car turns up. People jump out of that car and begin shooting into the crowd outside the church, firing indiscriminately, but looking specifically to kill Wooski. 6 people were hit in this shooting, with Wooski himself being shot in the head, but he would miraculously survive. Only a few days after the shooting, Von would begin tweeting, I kid you not, comparing himself to Jesus, and then tweeting, laugh now, cry later, and game over, we won, with fellow O-Block shooter Muwop retweeting and agreeing with this. Over the next few years, Von would go on to drop numerous disrespectful lyrics referencing the shooting of Wooski, like on the track Grandson for President, where he raps that Wooski got shot in his head and now has to take medicine for his injuries. Von would rap on the song GTA, Who Shot Wooski? How Would I Know? Von also rapped on the track Go and Get 'Em that he will be at your funeral on time to give your mother a tissue. And then there's the lyrics on his track Back Again, where he literally says that he slides at funerals, shoots everyone outside, and that Wooski is going to feel this one. Going on to say, I bet Wooski's still twitching, he changed, something different. Those are some of the
Damn, so Wooski didn't die.
Come across. But it's also
But Wooski's probably still alive.
It's honestly insane that Von was getting away with stuff like this. But it really was this kind of raw and real content that attracted so many people to his music, whether or not they even knew what he was talking about. From here, Von would continue to mock Wooski throughout his career, posting disrespectful pictures to him on Instagram on a regular basis. But ultimately, despite being literally shot in the head, Wooski is still alive today in 2023 and still posting on Instagram.
Yeah,
in fact,
see?
Wooski would indeed outlive King Von, just like he had promised him on Twitter in 2012, the day before Boss Trail died. But for the time being, Wooski would take a step back from the beef with Von and O-Block, and a newly charged King Von would go all in on his rap career, continuing to
Damn, that's crazy that I said that.
going on to
We're
record
back
song
at it.
after song about living the lifestyle of a shot-calling killer. But unfortunately for Lil Durk, rolling with this loose cannon would soon be causing him problems too, and it would only be a matter of months after the funeral shooting that Lil Durk would find himself in a car with a trigger-happy King Von, perhaps succumbing to peer pressure and picking up a gun of his own, with Lil Durk making a split-second decision that would nearly cost him his career and freedom.
He got the charges dropped though.
The month
Acquitted.
after the shooting at Dusky's funeral, which critically injured Wooski, King Von seemed to be worried about his reputation, tweeting that the past is always coming back to haunt him, and saying that he's not a murderer, not a rapper, not a scammer, just handsome. But also tweeting that if you play with him on the internet, he's going to your house. Perhaps behind the scenes, Von was beginning to struggle to manage his reputation. Now he was becoming a legitimate rapper in the music industry, he might have been worried about his past as a killer getting in the way of his new plans. Von said that he was having nightmares during this time, and that he was popping pills to cope. There'd be a few interesting exchanges around this time too, like a Twitter conversation between Von and his baby mother.
No matter how savage you think you are, killing somebody or catching a body or multiple that he's being accused of, that shit would weigh on your fucking soul, man. That will weigh on your heart, no matter how hard you think you are. I couldn't imagine living life knowing that I killed somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Lama, where Von joked that he would put her on the news, and then backtracking, having to deny being a killer. At this point, Von was clearly concerned about his reputation, and was on edge to even joke about being a killer. But one person who wasn't worried about Von's reputation was Lil Durk, who was doing everything he could to put King Von on during this time. In mid-November 2018, Lil Durk previews King Von's upcoming song, Crazy Story, on his Instagram. Fans knew that something huge.
Crazy Story was a good
Lil
song.
Durk was taking Von to parties to rub shoulders with other huge rappers in the industry like YNW Melly and Roddy Ricch, even taking an enthusiastic King Von to the studio to hang out with Gunna.
Hey, Durk, yo.
All these murderers from different parts of the world coming together to hang out. King Von, Lil Durk, YNW Melly, YNW Bortland. YNW Melly still in prison for being accused of killing his 2 friends. Bortland's free. It's just crazy, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, took him, man.
Durk would even bring King Von along to his interviews, with Lil Durk.
Those are the friends he was gonna rob.
The Breakfast Club being one of the first times that the mainstream music listening public got a glimpse of King Von, and this would end up being a legendary appearance. Clearly doing all he could to put the spotlight on his friend and artist, Durk had brought Von onto one of the most famous rap interview shows in the world.
What's your artist name, bro? King Von. What's up, sir?
What's up, John?
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Durk would tell Charlemagne that he wanted to sign Von because of the backstory behind him, with Charlemagne not being quite prepared for the realness when Von started talking about beating his murder charge.
What made you want to sign King Von?
Cause he got a whole story behind him.
What's the story? What's your story?
My story, I just got out of jail for just beat a body in 2 attempts. Like,
So you was in jail for 2 murders?
yeah, 1 murder and 2 attempts. I just beat.
How you beat that?
What you mean? I
mean, you didn't do it clearly. But I mean, like, how? I mean,
like, you know, jury. Yeah, look, you know.
In the interview, you could visibly see Lil Durk trying to look out for Von and covering his tracks after Charlemagne began asking Von if he actually did the murder, with Durk butting in, saying that Von beat it because he didn't do it.
You gonna beat it. You gonna beat it if you didn't do it. That's all.
Von would go on to say that he can't get a normal job in Chicago because he's done so much dirt in the streets that if he was
that wasn't very convincing.
Job, he would probably be killed on sight.
It's like I can't work no job in Chicago. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's the same.
Why not? Why couldn't you work a job in Chicago?
I got a face card. Like, I can't.
Oh, I got you. People
like,
know you.
Say if I'm behind the counter at McDonald's, somebody coming out there do something crazy. You know?
Yeah.
Then at the end of the interview, as Von was explaining to Charlemagne that he had no plans after jail because he's got no experience doing anything, suddenly Durk begins to cough, seemingly giving Von an indication not to say anything incriminating about his former life as a killer.
What other plans did you have other than rap?
I ain't had no plan. That's the thing. Like, you get out, you got a lot of shit on your mind, so you getting that what to do. It's like back to the streets.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever
no experiences doing nothing. I ain't, you know.
Looked right at him. Looked right at him. Coughed and looked right at him like, chill the fuck out, bro.
Upcoming hit song, Crazy Story.
Saying too much, bro.
Sometime this week coming up. Sometime like any day.
Von would go on to tease the music video for Crazy
This ain't
Story,
Twitter, bro.
telling fans that he has a movie.
It's the Breakfast Club, bro. Like he probably had no idea at that time how big.
Von would go on to release.
He probably had no idea at that time how big the Breakfast Club actually was.
The audio for Crazy Story on December the 6th, 2018, just one day before the 1-year anniversary of him beating his murder case. Von would claim around this time to be making chess moves in the hopes that he would win at life. And his next move would indeed be a big one, with the full-blown music video for Crazy Story dropping on WorldStar on the 11th of December. Von himself would be amazed at racking up a whopping 110,000 views in his first day, but the appeal of Crazy Story was undeniable. It was a storytelling type song where Von would use his lyrics to tell an entire narrative, telling the story of himself plotting an armed robbery on a rich drug dealer and using a woman to set them up. But the robbery would go wrong when Von's ops caught him lacking, with the track ending in a shootout, and the entire story playing out in the cinematic music video for the song, with Von playing the main character and narrator. Von would end the song dropping his iconic final line where he introduced the world to his regular catchphrase, rapping from 64th and from 65th, we not from 63rd, shouting out O-Block on 64th and 65th King Drive, and dissing his ops from 63rd and St. Lawrence and Eberhart Avenues, aka Tucaville. Dissing 63rd would become a massive part of Von's brand, and he would even later be seen selling merch showing the street sign for 63rd with a big cross over it. And the popularity of the song Crazy Story had Von's fans all over the world dissing 63rd.
Could you imagine some little white kid buys that sweater, goes to Chicago, let's go see the King Von mural, walks down near O Block, somebody looks around, sees him wearing that, and that kid dies because he had no idea what that sweater meant, but he thought King Von was cool.
Without really even knowing what it means. Crazy Story was distributed by Lil Durk's OT.
I'm sure they've hurt people for less.
3 million views in a week. This is a huge hit, and today it sits over 69 million views on YouTube. Von was on a high after dropping Crazy Story. The week after the release, he would tweet a picture with the caption saying that people see you shining and forget that you're dangerous. And from here, he would make numerous tweets suggesting that the money was finally rolling in. At the end of December 2018, Durk would hop on an Instagram live with Von with a big stack of money celebrating the success of their release.
Oh, what's that?
I got a drop on the flex. He from Tennessee.
What that is? Confetti in your hair?
Playing, boy.
Don't throw that. Hey, you gonna break some of that house. Don't throw that, bro.
Then in the new year, King Von would begin performing his hit song at live shows, even reacting on Twitter to his new song playing on the radio, suggesting that some people might have been shocked when they heard him coming out of their car stereo. Von felt like he had truly made it at this point, tweeting that even his mother was finally proud of him and saying that he felt truly blessed for the position that he had reached in life. But some people in Chicago were surprised. Now King Von was being played on the radio, doing interviews with the Breakfast Club, and becoming a household name, some people who knew him in Chicago for being a ruthless shooter were giving the side eye. There was actually a really interesting Reddit thread, asking people who knew of Von before 2017 to share what they thought when they saw him getting success in the music industry. Some said that they thought when he first started rapping he wouldn't get anywhere, but then when he kept progressing, it seemed like his life was a real movie. Whilst another person would say, 100% I could not believe it. When Durk took him on Breakfast Club, it was so surreal, and he almost admitted to murder on there too. But still, I never thought he would blow up. Then Crazy Story came out and started picking up steam, and it was like, dear God, this literal gang assassin is being played at NFL Stadium. Off the back of the success of Crazy Story, King Von would begin going even harder.
This literal gang assassin.
With music. With his next
King Von's a savage.
More disrespectful to the
I can't help but like him though.
January 9th, 2019, Mimo 600 and King Von will drop their new track.
That's just crazy.
And in the song, Von mentions Wooski getting shot in the head. He says that he's put in so much work in the street that Get Back Gang will now look out for him. He says outright that he was a killer before the rap, and saying, I swear I killed her, broke her back, a possible reference to K.I.'s murder. He would say that he's smoking Tuka and Lil.
That was a play on words for sex, bro. Stop being an idiot. Everything's not about fucking killing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he said I killed her. That was about the murder. I killed her back. It was a play on words, meaning sex, and then the first part was about, like, come on, bro. Don't be that stupid.
Lil Mark, and
he's trying to exaggerate the narrative.
Friend from O Block, DQ, was his shooter, suggesting that he will call a hit and have DQ shoot someone for him. It seemed like the more violent and real Von's music got, the more fans flocked to him. But since the success of his Crazy Story, and being brought under the wing of successful Chicago drill rap legend Lil Durk, Von was spending a lot of time away from the mean streets of Chicago that he had rapped about, instead beginning to get used to living the high life of a successful rapper like Durk. Rather than jumping in stolen cars and doing drills, Von was seen with Durk jumping off of luxury yachts, seemingly surrounded by people who knew his reputation well.
Okay, Durk, it's on you now. This Durk scared. This scared. Okay, Von. This scared.
Yeah, I'm a bitch.
Look at Von. He too scared.
Get wild, B-Roy.
They talking about Von, he scared to jump. They out here talking about you, all that savage, and you scared to jump in the water.
But all of the success Von was seeing,
don't make me get my gun out.
It seemed like Durk was doing his best to take a killer out of a dangerous environment and turn him into a good person and rapper. But perhaps Lil Durk didn't realize that he was also inviting that killer energy into his legitimate rap career. Because on February the 5th, 2019, around 5:49 AM, Lil Durk and King Von were allegedly outside Atlanta restaurant The Varsity. Here, an altercation would take place in the parking lot where allegedly Lil Durk and King Von, along with fellow OTF affiliate THF Bezu and another Chicago native named Hella Bands, would allegedly shoot and rob a man by the name of Alexander Witherspoon, allegedly targeting him for $30,000 cash that he had on him at the time. Detectives would later claim that a video showed Lil Durk shooting out of his own personal car, a custom Jeep Trackhawk with a camouflage wrap and a large 300 on the sign that he was known to own. Durk had even posted clips of this car to Twitter with the caption, "Spin, spin," clips which even Von himself had reposted. Cops would be seen analysing the scene after the shooting, and the local news would report on the shooting before even becoming aware of these famous rappers' involvement.
Police found several shell casings in this parking lot. The Varsity was closed at the time this happened, around 5:45 this morning, but this club across Spring Street was open, and one patron who was parked in the Varsity lot to go to that club told me what he went through. The man from Chicago, who goes by Gutta, returned to the Varsity parking lot this afternoon to change the tire and assess the damage on his cousin's car after it was hit by bullets.
Tired, exhausted, wild night. I'm just happy I'm alive, basically, so that's really what my main focus is.
He had just paid the cover to get into one cigar lounge across Spring Street when he heard the shots outside around 5:45 a.m. He says people hit the floor and he hid in a bathroom. Police say a 23-year-old man was in serious condition when he was rushed to the hospital after the shooting. They are now looking for a dark-colored SUV. They are doing anything they can to help Atlanta police.
The afternoon after the shooting, Von would post up on Twitter with a handful of cash and a gun on the couch next to him. Later on, posting a tweet saying you never know who's gonna snitch when the cops come. Then, the day after the shooting, Von would tweet asking if you can be a killer and a good person too. A few days later, on February the 9th, 2019, Von would be seen in the background on an Instagram Live with Asian Doll. Talking to his friend on the phone, possibly about this very shooting. He would seemingly be telling his friend that he thinks he made all of the wrong moves and saying that the cops are now watching him.
Now you know I ain't trying to do none of this. Oh, dude, that is so fluky. We just did the wrong shit the first time. I told you I could get it together. That shit was fool. You just feel like you made all the wrong moves, on mistake. We just was tweaking on foot and that shit, We just got to be tighter last time for them. Now you understand, see that look. See, that's the part I was saying, like, everybody be tweaking with me on, Jason, I'm all in my head tweaking with me, talking about this, that, and that. But I ain't letting you know that. I'm just letting them tweak with me and trying to make sure everything decent. If Whole time you don't be seeing all that part, man. Man, I'm arguing with the man about putting on. I'm arguing about the man at the show. I'm arguing with the man on the stage. I'm arguing with the man airwork, man. And you think I'm just, you know,
they talking about where the fuck he get that accent.
Yeah, they be tweaking with me, boy. I'm feeling like that's what I'm doing.
I don't understand him sometimes, y'all. Either.
Man, you worry about the run. That's little shit, gang. That's what nothing we need to think about it, talk about. Just everything happened Fuji today. Oh, yeah, I know that I'm swinging you in the truck with us on 4 when I get out right there. Well, you know, I'm high and thinking about it.
But clearly, Von wasn't too worried about the cops watching, because he would tweet on February the 21st that he was ready to catch another body. And the day after, Von jumps on a reckless IG live with fans, showing off all the money he had apparently made from features, dissing Tuka, and saying that he's not a rapper, just a gangster who raps for the money.
Hey, this feature, man, you know, I just picked this up, little folks. What, you about to drink some, smoke some? Nah, I'm gonna smoke Tuka. You know who Tuka is? No, what is that? That's him. He been dead for a long time. You don't know Tuka. The rapper! Man, I'm not a rapper, man. See, they think I'm a hoe. Nah, I'm a gangster. I just rap because they be giving me money for it.
While cops were slowly piecing
I just rap because they be giving me money for it. He's dead serious.
Sparing a thought to how much
self-incrimination he's
doing to himself at the time. On February the 28th, Von drops a feature on Dari's song Gang Only, where he raps he has a lot of bodies, even saying that on his first murder, the victim thought it was a robbery. Around a week later, on March the 5th, 2019, King Von's song Wait unofficially leaks. That track has some brazen lyrics, where he says that he has more bodies than the killer from Scream, as well as admitting that he shot up Dunbar School with LA Capone, something he had tweeted about prior. He would also say that he remembers his first murder and saying that he missed a bunch of shots, but now his aim is better. And while these demonic tracks are circulating online, King Von and Lil Durk are having a great time flexing on Instagram Live and fighting over who has the most money and designer clothing.
Hey, you saw me flexing earlier?
No, man, I was too busy.
Nickname Papa. Papa, no spinach. Yeah. Come on. Hold on.
I was too busy. No.
Get your what?
I just
what?
know.
What?
Damn. I don't play. I just married myself to death.
You flash.
That shit don't matter though. You over there with 20 on.
Huh?
You over there with $20.
Don't try to count my don't count my pockets on phone number.
Don't count my pockets. He's funny without even trying to be funny, bro.
That's a couple belts.
Hey, I'm saying.
Fat 50 a piece.
It sucks because in different circumstances, Von could have really done something with himself.
Later on in this live, Von would joke to Lil Durk, saying that he was smoking on Lil Mark and Tuka.
I'm right here kicking with Lil Mark. Dirty ass.
Damn.
Marky.
That shit we so much yesterday, man.
Marky.
I never was sleep in the studio.
Lil Mark. Tuka, nigga, y'all know what the f going on. I don't know about this.
But at this point, King Von was playing huge concerts to massive crowds, and selling verses to other rappers all over the country and making headlines in major rap publications. King Von would tweet around this time that he was scared to go back to jail and hoping that he wasn't making the wrong decisions, and suggesting that he was worried that if he did go back to jail, all his new friends would leave him behind. But no matter how far Von got into the rap industry, he just couldn't stop toting guns and thugging. At the end of March, Von was seen riding around with Lil Durk, toting a big strap for any ops that might pull up, even joking about having more bodies than anyone in the car and saying that he's about to get indicted and go to jail for a long time.
Probably can feel that shit coming.
Stop playing.
They back on? Are they right? Yeah. Up and down we go.
And I got more voice in there, but got this low back up, man. He get indicted in his
late.
It's over. Look, you know I'm coming out. Look.
After this, Durk had whoever was behind the wheel driving incredibly fast in that Jeep Trackhawk, with Von seemingly in fear of his life and joking that his gun is about to go off.
That's up good.
Up and down we go.
Oh, here go crazy. And this whole king. Whoa.
down. Nah, cuz. You drag.
Damn, Dirk only had 2,000 in that live. That boy pulling like 50, 60K now. Like he was not as big as he is now at all.
My fans for this. Yeah. What you talking about, boy? Hold on. Slow down, cuz.
Oh shit.
Slow down, cuz.
They really almost hit that car.
Slow down, cuz. The slow music was gonna work. Hey, cuz y'all motherfuckers be scared.
He ain't even got a seatbelt on, nothing.
Your life flash. Hey, chop it to my. Hey, chop it to y'all scream. He said, shut the f up.
What happened to my seatbelt on? Hey, back seat with my. Damn, my seatbelt don't work.
Hey, tell.
Seatbelts in this work.
Chop it to shut your crybaby ass
I
up.
better get this young ass on. It's gonna be fucking cool. Oh, there you go.
No seatbelt, bro. You hear that motherfucker? Yeah. Seatbelts don't work in this car.
You trying to put the seatbelt on, bro?
Yeah, but I'm moving around on the back seat.
I wouldn't chase me in this.
Down the ride to my area.
Now you back talking to gangs. You just screaming. You just screaming like a little. You just screaming. He texts you, telling him, "Love you, bro." How's I'm gonna read it, motherfucker? We both gonna be out there.
With the news reporting a total of 5 people shot, the result of a huge shootout. Apparently, a large fight had broken out between 2 large groups, and an hour after the fight, one group who had left and returned got into it again and begun shooting, with 5 people being hit in the altercation, and Tyreek, unfortunately losing his life, being found dead by police in the parking lot around 10:30 PM. The police would say that the shooter goes by a nickname, but refused to disclose it to the press, with reports on this incident making it to the TV news the following day.
Now to a developing story. A shooting leaves 1 person dead, 4 others injured. This happened at an apartment complex in southwest Atlanta. Latasha Givens is live outside of Grady Memorial Hospital. Latasha, what are we learning about their conditions this morning?
Well, Christy, police tell us this all started at a house party last night on Landrum Drive. They tell us a fight broke out between 2 large groups, and at some point a man opened fire, hitting 5 people. Let's take a look at some of that video from last night. Police tell us 1 man was found dead at the party, while 4 others were rushed here to Grady. We're told the victims' ages range from 17 to 20, and the victims are all male. Investigators are trying to determine a motive and what happened leading up to that shooting.
After this, a rumor would circulate suggesting that King Von and THF Bezu had something to do with the shooting. However, Lil Durk would tweet "never" just a couple of hours after the body was discovered, followed by tweeting "protect the money at all costs" the morning after. Von would tweet the following morning that you can do everything right and they're still going to find a way to bring you down, dissing somebody that he doesn't name. Meanwhile, another member of their entourage, Mimo600, would tweet the day after saying that people will end up on the news. For the record, there's never been any concrete evidence to indicate that Von, Durk, Bezu, or any of their entourage had anything to do with this killing, and Tyreek Livert's cousin would actually do a YouTube interview saying that he also doesn't believe that Von had anything to do with the killing either.
They said King Von killed your cousin. That's what they saying. I don't believe it, but honestly, I think they be just attaching King Von name. I don't.
Same, like what this dude's doing right now.
You know,
Trap Lord Ross is doing that shit right now. We're watching it.
fancy and you know what I'm saying. Then you over there.
They're trying to.
You know what I'm saying. Then it don't.
They're trying to like give him like super villain fucking status. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to, like, yeah, he killed people, but he's not like a superhero gangster villain. If that makes any sense?
It's highly likely that
I don't know. They're just trying to make him seem immortal.
But that didn't stop people all
Like a
over the
god.
internet making King Von body count articles and videos speculating as to whether King Von was responsible for this murder too. None of this proves Von was involved, but what it does prove is that even if he wasn't involved, his reputation as a shooter would have the fans and public pointing the finger at him regularly.
He does it
As
for
the
me.
weeks went by, Von would continue to go about his life, whilst the cops would continue building the case related to the original shooting at the Varsity. On April the 1st, the victim in the Varsity shooting, Alexander Weatherspoon, would end up being booked into a Chicago jail on unrelated charges of possession of a stolen vehicle. It seemed like the police were slowly getting closer to having something concrete, but King Von just didn't seem worried about attracting the attention of the authorities. In a social media clip uploaded on April the 2nd, 2019, King Von recorded himself singing in the back of a car with Lil Durk, dissing dead people like Wooski and saying that they almost killed Wooski.
Yeah.
So sophisticated.
We go again, here we go again, back on the road again, back on the road again, right down the avenue, right down the avenue. We catch you and you through, we catch you and you through. I don't wanna talk to you, I don't wanna talk to you, I don't really shoot, I don't really with you. Is I'm shooting right, ain't wrong. Is I'm shooting light, I'm shooting strong. Dawa,
Yeah, the little
Tuga, Zico, T3, Wooski, Wooski, almost.
Also in April,
Wooski, almost. That's fucked up.
Throwback pictures of him and T. Roy back when they were hitters in Chicago. He'd even post a picture of himself with a gun in his waistband and a caption saying his enemies envy him, as well as tweeting about Can't Get Right being killed in the parking lot. Von would tweet saying that he's never the victim, always the suspect. And this is all while police are still looking for a suspect in the Varsity shooting. On the 10th of April, a day before the anniversary of KI's murder, King Von would tweet a cryptic message asking if the streets could be his Valentine, saying that they're tired of dying. Then one day after the anniversary of KI's death, King Von would make a biblical tweet, saying, "God said to me out of his own mouth to cut her off, grandson, and grandson said, in Jesus' name, amen." Von would even tweet reminding people that even though they see him having fun on Twitter, be careful, because he's still dangerous in real life. He would say that he'll do something to somebody if they go against him, and Von would also release a clip apparently promoting Lil Durk's new cereal, Durkios, telling people to go and buy the cereal whilst waving the clip of a gun. Von would also later tell a woman that he comes with the cereal.
If you ain't order no Durkios at you, like stop playing my mother twin. Order that.
A day later, on April the 16th, 2019, Von is on Instagram Live, mocking Wooski for changing after being shot in the head, saying that Wooski doesn't diss them anymore.
He ain't been the same. He don't talk shit no more, nothing. I don't know what the This man talk to me every day. This man ain't DM me no more, nothing. His ass them bullets be changing them. Man. I hope you watching. I hope you hear this your ass up, dude.
That same day, he would tweet that he doesn't chase clout, he actually chases people with guns, and tweeting that Took had died for your enjoyment. He would even tweet about the crimes that he was committing in Atlanta, saying that he's been doing damage on the Chicago streets since he was young, and now he's ready to cause problems elsewhere, #steppers, a sentiment that apparently Lil Durk was in full support of. Durk was giving Von nothing but support during this period. He would make a cameo in the video for Von's track Cousins with Just Blow 600, another outrageously gangster anthem where King Von raps that if his ops aren't outside, then he will find and kill their cousins instead. This is an unbelievable thing to rap considering King Von's history of killing people and their cousins. But the track would have some more incriminating lyrics, like Just Blow 600 rapping that him and Von are popping pills, riding in the Jeep Trackhawk looking for ops, and killing people after fights. Von would rap that his gang's body count is 24, and he'd rap that he kills women and men and can't tell the difference. And Von would even promote the video for Cousins with a hilarious tweet, telling fans that if their cousin is cool with their ops, to go to their auntie's house right now and kill them. King Von's first tweet after posting that song was warning his ops what he would do to them if he catches them without the police around. A day after that, Von posts a picture of himself eating cereal, and tweeting about having killers that want him dead, and killers that look up to him. Von was also feeling generous around this time, tweeting that he had given his mother a Gucci purse and $10,000 cash, as well as openly tweeting that he still robs people. Von would even reply to a troll who asked why he's robbing people when he's a rich, successful rapper, and Von actually replied to this, saying he robs people because he doesn't want to spend his own money, he wants to spend somebody else's. But even if he was robbing, Von would soon have the music money rolling in even more. Von would begin teasing his collaboration with Lil Durk, Crazy Story 2.0, on April 29th. Then the day after this, on April the 30th, Von ends up having a funny interaction with a fan, who replied to Lil Durk's teaser of Crazy Story 2.0, saying that she preferred it when King Von raps on his own. Von would reply to this saying, the song isn't part 2, it's a version 2, and that part 2 of Crazy Story is coming eventually, with the girl then trolling Von by pleading for him not to kill her, with Von face-palming and promising not to kill the woman. I mean, to me, this interaction really drives home just how absurd it is that you've got this celebrity rapper just trying to go about his career and release music, whilst it's widely known that he is a hardened killer and people are tweeting at him, begging him to not kill them too.
Don't kill me, I fucked up my tweet!
Well for King Von, and Crazy Story 2.0
That's crazy.
with Lil Durk was due to be a hit. And it seemed like King Von could do with another hit, because he had apparently blown through $150,000 by this point, encouraging fans that they can do it too if they just work hard. Von would also tweet that people talk slick until bullets rip through them. Sadly for Von, the good times would soon come to an end. King Von would return to Chicago for a hometown concert, but this would end up being cancelled on the day, with Von suggesting that somebody was out to get him. And then, on May the 4th, 2019, footage would emerge showing a huge force of over 30 Chicago police officers raiding O Block to arrest King Von, with Von himself being arrested in dramatic footage where he was tackled to the ground, with an enraged mob of his friends accusing the cops of stealing his chain at the scene. And the cops even had to draw assault rifles on the crowd to keep them at bay whilst they arrested Von. In addition to those clips, the full body cam footage of King Von's arrest would later be released.
Stay on the ground. Gang, what the Just don't resist. Don't resist. Gang, why y'all grab me? What the wrong with y'all? Hey, let me get my money in my tree. Hold on, man. Oh my God. I got it. Get his train! Let's go.
Damn, it's like a freaking war zone.
Following the arrest, Von would be taken to the station where he would continue to argue with the cops.
We got your chain, baby bro.
Is there anything on here not supposed to be? Money. Send them. My back up, gang. Stop it. That's hurting, boy. What the hell? I ain't used to being tapping no more.
You said no more.
Yeah. Y'all tweaking. I'm grown as hell. Why you cancel your show today, dog? Y'all canceled it. We did? Yeah, bro, money.
Why'd you cancel your show today? They're watching him. Why would they ask that question unless they were probably planning to get him at the show. And when he canceled the show, they had to reroute and go to O Block to pick him up. Damn, that's crazy. They know about Von, bro. They know he's dangerous. They had to bring 30 cops to arrest one man. That's crazy. That means they're scared. He said, who tackled me? Because I'm going to see him in the street.
Yeah, I had to, man. I had to. I seen you. I had to get you out the way quickly.
Why? I ain't the type to do all of that. We'll explain everything in a minute. Yeah. Alright? Now, once this all been done, I'm alright. Y'all wrong. We'll apologize.
Right. At the same time, though, when you get into custody, people that be your mans want to, especially if you drop some on the ground, you might never see it again. They're your boys.
Not for Vaughn, bro. They would have held that shit for life.
Would later be made public.
They would have held that shit for life for him.
Lil Durk would react to the news.
That's not how they go there. It ain't New York, bro. That's Chicago.
Only the week after Von is arrested, something unexpected happened. On May the 11th, 2019, the fourth person who was in the Trackhawk on the night of the shooting, Hella Bands, would be suddenly shot and killed outside of a Miami nightclub before facing any charges, with a Miami Beach spokesperson revealing that Hella Bands was also wanted in Atlanta for attempted murder and armed robbery. After Von was picked up in Chicago and waiting to be sent back to Atlanta to face charges, 2 days later, on May the 13th, 2019, THF Bezu would also be arrested in Chicago, charged with being a fugitive from justice out of state, once again in connection with the Atlanta shooting. For the meantime, it would only be Von and Bezu in jail, with Durk remaining free and tweeting Free Von, as well as an RIP to Hella Bands. Von would be transferred to Atlanta to face charges in connection with the shooting on May the 17th. And as usual, his sister ran his social media accounts, keeping fans updated with pictures of Von in jail. But while Von was behind bars, with his mentor Durk free, his career would keep rising in his absence. Only a couple of days later, on May the 20th, 2019, Crazy Story 2.0 drops with that Lil Durk verse. This remix of Crazy Story had King Von and Lil Durk.
That shit went crazy.
The original booming Crazy Story.
That shit went crazy when it dropped.
Was a huge street hit. Today sits close to 100 million views.
100 million views.
Landed Von his first entry on the Billboard Global 200 chart. Unfortunately, the Atlanta shooting case would also.
When that shit dropped, woo!
With Durk tweeting at the end of May,
that shit was crazy.
Turning himself in and sitting down for a TV news
then
interview
COVID hit,
where he revealed that he was turning himself in to face these charges, and that he was also releasing a song called Turn Myself In.
You're about to surrender as we speak.
Yeah.
How come?
Because I have nothing to hide. Like, I have nothing to run from.
A rapper's ride.
That's his lawyer right there. He made a song where he said, turn a BITCH from a stripper to a lawyer or something, send her to lawyer school so she can get you out, some shit. And then that really happened. This girl got him out. And they, like, she is associated with sleeping or being with one of his boys and them or something like that. She slept with one of them or was in a relationship with one of them, and she was dressing crazy. And I've seen pictures of this chick dressed crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I'm in this shit too deep. But then she went to lawyer school, and then she got him off on these charges. Crazy. That's a whole nother story they need to do.
Emerged from his lawyer's space and headed toward an SUV. Soon after that, he stepped out in front of the Fulton County Jail. One of his lawyers says he was swiftly taken into custody there, having swiftly flown back to Atlanta after he found out he was wanted.
We found out we had a warrant. We was actually on tour. Once I heard, I immediately came back.
He's willing to turn himself in and take care of what he needs to take care of.
We immediately canceled the tour.
He's got a multi-million-dollar salary music career going.
Did you do it? Did you shoot this man? Did you commit the other crimes of which you're accused?
No.
Warrants involving an incident in February on North Avenue involved charges including criminal attempt to commit murder and aggravated assault. One document indicates an Atlanta police investigator said to the best of his knowledge, Banks was employed or associated with a criminal street gang to conduct or participate in gang activity, shooting at the victim while co-defendants shot and robbed him.
I had a bad background, just growing up as a child, about father being incarcerated for 25 years, 26 years. So I had a rough past, but like me moving to Atlanta, I just thought that just changed my whole identity of thinking.
After Durk and Von were in custody, an Atlanta judge revealed that they believed that there was enough evidence to charge both Durk and Von in the attempted murder, and Durk and Von would be seen in an iconic televised court appearance.
Today, Lil Durk appeared in court where a judge ruled there was enough evidence for him to go to trial.
The rapper and Bennett listened to the evidence against them in court. The APD says they used at least 5 cameras from local businesses, including this BP, as well as from the Varsity across the street in order to build their case against Lil Durk and his co-defendant. On Friday, detectives from Atlanta and Chicago testified in the criminal case against rapper Lil Durk in Fulton County Court. They say around 5 in the morning on February 5th, Lil Durk, whose real name is Dirk Derek Banks, and his co-defendant Devontae Bennett were seen on camera involved in shooting Alexander Witherspoon.
He said his chain was snatched off his neck and he had $30,000 stolen from him, and they stole the vehicle he was driving.
Police say Banks was seen on tape shooting a gun.
Apparently, their defense team were looking to put forward a self-defense plea with the suggestion that it was the man who was shot who actually initiated the altercation. Then, after some legal back and forths, Lil Durk would be granted the opportunity to get out of jail on a $250,000 bond. Following this announcement, Durk was seen running out of the jail and telling fans that Von is getting out tomorrow.
We out here. We out here. Yo, what's up? I'm getting fire in this motherfucker popping. They talking 15 minutes. I'm gonna be 30.
Oh, we were still waiting on the driver to come up. Just hop in. We waiting on the driver. Hey, tell me, hey, you can just stay right here.
Another car is about to pull up. No, we can just go.
I'm back.
Hey, thank everybody for the love and support.
Yeah, definitely appreciate everybody for rocking out with us, supporting us, believing us, you know.
Everybody that screams free.
Hey, I've been here so long, this Instagram feel fake. Vaughn will be home tomorrow.
Duck was back, and he would eventually open up about his time in jail after his release, with his lawyer saying definitively he is not in a gang.
You know, you get in type of that in a predicament like this, you would sit back and be like, damn, like why I ain't never do this more? Why I ain't never do this with my kids more? Why I ain't do this with my pops more, or my mama? You know what I'm saying? So it just set me down, so I just understand life more.
A member of his legal team says slightly more than 2 months after he surrendered to be booked into the Fulton County Jail, Lil Durk, a.k.a. Dirk Banks, did a book bag giveaway Sunday in conjunction with the Atlanta Entertainment Basketball League, where kids can watch NBA players and others for free.
Trying to give back to the community. Trying to make himself look good to that judge.
It ain't nothing new pop up because of the case. We've been doing it.
That he did not do it because of the serious charges he faces after a February incident on North Avenue in which a man was wounded by gunfire, including criminal attempt to commit murder.
We'll fight our case in court.
And a gang charge.
Lil Durk validated himself as having a gang affiliation, right?
Allegedly, right.
Among others.
Being from South Southern Chicago, essentially you have to choose a gang for your safety. You don't choose a gang, you can be killed just for not being in a gang.
Is he currently in a gang?
Absolutely not. He moved to Atlanta to get away from the gang life, to get away from the streets.
Vaughn would also be granted a
She's smart. You can tell just by the way she talks, she's smart.
Confirmed by a
he didn't do it. Allegedly.
With Vaughn
Allegedly.
on Instagram Live, fresh home from jail, and dissing his baby mama, but not thinking that he would ever be getting out.
I want to shout out everybody that was on my dick and thought I wasn't coming out, suck my dick. I want to shout out everybody that was talking crazy, like my baby mama now. I've been through some Hey, last called me a hoe, I smacked the shit out of her.
Vaughn would go from jail straight onto house arrest, opening up about his situation on Instagram Live.
I ain't got no good shout out. I can't hear. Damn. I'll be back later.
Part of the bail conditions were that Durk and Vaughn could not be around each other, as King Von would later reveal in a No Jumper interview.
Yeah, so yeah, me and Durk, we only see each other like at court, if we got court or something.
But Vaughn and Durk would still be releasing music together. On July the 9th, 2019, Vaughn and Durk released their latest collab track, Like That. And despite their legal troubles, Vaughn was still dropping lyrics hinting towards having killed K.I. and dissing Tuka. It's actually crazy to me that even whilst facing serious charges of attempted murder, both King Von and Lil Durk would continue to rap about such true criminality. Lil Durk's experiment in taking the realist gangbanger from his block and turning him into a drill rapper was going too far and jeopardizing his own career. It was only years later, after Von's death, that those charges against Lil Durk for the varsity shooting were eventually dropped, with the district attorney saying that if King Von was still alive, he likely would have still been charged and facing trial for attempted murder. But in the end, whilst he was alive, King Von
coincidence
faced consequences for his involvement in this supposed shooting. In fact, Von would bail out from these charges and continue his career, not even choosing to keep a low profile.
All I know is King Von dying helped Lil Durk.
In 2 states, Von would go on to have one of the most successful runs in the rap game, dropping song after song of violent drill anthems, with the entire world following along and wondering how this multiple murderer just kept getting away with it. Once the hip-hop world saw King Von next to Lil Durk in the courtroom in shackles, he quickly gained a reputation as one of the best street rappers in the rap game. For some people, seeing Von in court with Durk, one of the most famous rappers in Chicago history, was their first introduction to him. However, for anybody that looked closer into his history, discovering the murder case that he beat, or as many as 7 people he was rumored to have killed, they would be easily convinced that King Von might just be one of the most deadly and dangerous people to ever pick up a microphone. And King Von wasn't just a killer who had gotten away with his terrible crimes, but he was seemingly willing to rap about them for the whole world to hear. Von's next release after getting arrested with Durk would be his May 30th, 2019 feature on Izzy Blatt's song Straight Facts, with this track being yet another self-incrimination fest. Von raps on the song that he used to do murder for hire and he says that he shoots people in the face and is 7-1 on beating murder cases. Von even ended the song saying that the last person that came to his street got killed. With lyrical content this dark, violent, and frankly self-incriminating, it's hard to believe that King Von would go on to achieve mainstream success in the rap game. But his music was undeniably good, despite the murderous messages behind it. He genuinely had a talent for taking these dark experiences he'd had in the streets and making them into songs that painted a vivid picture. And celebrities would soon begin discovering his music and promoting it without a full appreciation of the stories behind the songs. Von would end up getting a huge career boost when basketball star LeBron James' son, Bronny, would jam out to Von's original anthem, Crazy Story, with Bronny even passing Von's music to his father, who reportedly would end up becoming a fan of playing Von's music during his workouts. While Von spent close to 2 months in jail in connection for the attempted murder in Atlanta, he would spend some of that time behind bars writing some of the biggest songs of his career.
LeBron wants to be young so bad.
Of a lifetime, taking over the rap game with his new songs and buzzing reputation as a real shooter. Priming fans for the upcoming release of his debut mixtape, Grandson Volume 1, Von promoted it with an Instagram post pondering if the people he killed spirits follow him around until he dies, and also tweeting that by the time people work out what he's done, it will be too late and his mixtape will be out. The tape's lead single, What It's Like, dropped on September the 2nd, 2019, and the music video for that song would feature that video of his ops saying that he was responsible for the killing of Can't Get Right, as well as footage from his arrest in O Block and courtroom footage from the Atlanta case with Lil Durk. This song is an introspective and deep track about what it's really like living the gang life in Chicago. Von would rap about getting to jail and being given knives to defend himself, ops trying to work out who killed
my
their
favorite
friends,
song he ever made.
When he was in jail, he caught somebody who killed one of his
My
friends
favorite
and
song
beat
he
him
ever
up,
fucking
even
made.
saying that he was in jail with D. Rose, that same shooter who was allegedly at the scene of the Lil Mark murder with Von, rapping that he was there in a cell when D. Rose got sentenced to 40 years in prison for a 2014 murder of a teenager, with Von rapping that witnessing D. Rose get sentenced to all of these years really hurt his soul. Von would end that song with a heartfelt outro, saying that the same cops that locked up his friends D. Rose, C-Day, and Rondo No. 9 told him that they were out to get him too after he caught his murder in 2014. Von said that the cops were trying to catch him and his friends like it was a game, but really, this was just Von taunting those cops who were never able to catch him for the things he'd allegedly done. Ironically, just the day after dropping a song about the cops trying to arrest him, the cops would arrest Von for battery on September 3rd, 2019, after apparently beating up a man who called his girlfriend Asian Doll a bitch in the studio, with Von admitting openly on Instagram Live that he just beat somebody up for his girlfriend.
Somebody called my girlfriend a bitch today. Tell him what happened to my hand, bro.
Folks overbeat his ass.
Von would be in jail and not posting to his own Twitter account for just over a month. But while he was inside, his music kept on releasing, all in the lead up to his Grandson Volume 1 mixtape. On September the 10th, 2019, Von would appear on a song called For a Fact with another rapper called Sim Santana. And on this song, Von would rap that he's killed and would do it again, as well as a lyric where he says that all of his bodies are headshots and that tweeting about the murders has attracted the attention of the cops, as well as lines about catching ops and killing them by bus stops, seemingly a reference to the death of Little Mark. But it would be 3 days later when Von would bless the fans with the song that they had been truly waiting for, as Crazy Story Part 3 was finally released. This was another op-shooting, storytelling anthem, and the most significant release leading up to September 19, when his Grandson Volume 1 mixtape would come out. This was a roaring debut for Von, with the project landing at number 75 on the Billboard 200. And this project had some crazy song concepts, like the track F Your Man, which is a love song, where Von raps about seducing a woman with a boyfriend and vowing to kill him for her, along with numerous lyrics about killing ops and catching bodies, as well as shooting up funerals.
When Silly was a
another
crazy song
with
too.
Lil Durk called Twin Nem, where Durk says that Von shoots people and that they got caught shooting on camera with no masks on, seemingly a reference to their Atlanta shooting case. Von raps outright that he tries to kill people, ironically saying that he can't speak on what he's doing because the feds are watching him, whilst rapping about what he's doing on his Billboard charting mixtape. He also had the pop rap love song No Flaws, where he sings to a woman about how dangerous and handsome he is. He also had a song Mama's Boy, where he says that his mother is who raised him into the robbing savage that he is today. He also references beating up K.I. on the train on this song. Von was putting out a lot of bold statements on this project, and surprisingly, with all of this coming out whilst he was still behind bars. Eventually, Von would get out of jail on October the 10th, 2019, being released and returning to Twitter immediately, continuing to push and promote his new mixtape, as well as announcing that he would be going on tour to perform his new hits live. And Von would go on to play huge shows with his fans going crazy, and he would waste no time beginning to tease new music soon after his mixtape dropped, specifically the first single of his next project titled 2 AM, a song where Von rapped the brazen lyric, "Can't put no more guns in my videos because the ATF and DEA know they ain't props." And after this release, Von would claim to be receiving multi-million-dollar record deal offers. But while Von was getting more and more famous, so too were the rumours of him being a real killer, and his incriminating lyrics weren't helping matters either. During this period, it seemed like Von would simultaneously be claiming to have really done all of these murders in his music, but then at other times being desperately trying to convince his following that he never did anything. On his November 29th release, the song Rollin' with fellow rapper and accused double murderer YNW Melly, Von would rap that he has killed so many people they should call him Rambo, and saying, "I did it, but it wasn't me," which perfectly sums up his attitude during this time, jumping on songs and saying over and over again that he really is the killer they say he is, and then jumping on Twitter to say that he would never do anything like the rumours say he did. He would tweet after this release saying that somebody is trying to send him to jail every day. And in December, Von would appear prominently on Lil Durk's Family Over Everything compilation album for his OTF record label, with the front cover of this project ironically resembling a suspect board for a criminal investigation, with Von positioned as an underboss under Lil Durk. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the feds just downloaded this image and added it to the case file. But a few days later, on December the 14th, 2019, Von does a post on social media saying that he is all these dead people want to talk about in heaven. Rest in piss to the goofies. I wouldn't be the savage I am today if it wasn't for y'all. It seemed like Von was really getting more and more comfortable saying that he was a killer publicly. The following week, on December the 21st, 2019, Von does a feature for the rapper Lil Loaded where he raps that he put that boy in a box. But not long after this song dropped, Von would go live on Instagram in the car telling fans that he has bodies, and even going as far as to ask them to guess how many people he's killed, and asking the fans if they think that it's more than 5 bodies, and even seemingly swearing on OD Perry's life that he has killed more than 5 people.
Body into a top. And I got a lot of bodies. Tell them I got a lot, BJ.
They know.
Just free, how many I think? Let me stop there. Nah, you can't.
Hey, look.
What y'all think?
What y'all think? Or y'all think his ass all cap?
More than 5.
Well, y'all think his ass all cap?
More than 5?
Maybe he cap.
I'll take it out. I'll take it to out.
Oh, yeah, ain't. It's sorry.
Oh, more than 5. Ah, shut up.
Saying numbers.
Damn. Telling on himself.
Damn, what numbers up there? No, I'm just playing, man. We trying to stop playing.
Really talk. You know.
Y'all
get off that scary shit, y'all.
Hey, what band is that?
Y'all getting scary. Stop being so scary.
They go, get out! Okay, damn!
Von was either feeling invincible or just being completely reckless. He would tweet a couple of days after Christmas 2019, "Beat the odds time and time again without doing no funny stuff. Stayin' 10 toes. I done chased and beat up the guys that you were claiming was gangster, and I got fans all over the states. One of the realest and rawest people you'll ever meet. You're welcome." As well as saying F his dead ops. Going into 2020, Von was still winning, tweeting that it now costs $20,000 to book him for a show, and then announcing a huge booking opening for G Herbo on his PTSD tour. Clearly stacking that paper, in February, Von was going live in the bank, making a large deposit, impressing the bank manager.
Posting that crazy. What's up, man? You good? They feed me. Ain't nobody with you, is it? On his ass. Nobody's safe.
But soon Von's bank account was about to go to the next level, because at the end of February, he would release one of the biggest songs of his career, his hit track, Took Her to the O. Another storytelling type track with a catchy chorus where Von shouts out O Block. But this time, it wasn't some random made up story. This was a song all about him meeting a woman who leads him to his rival from Tuckerville turned rapper, FBG Duck. Von ends the song saying that he shoots Duck, literally rapping that he killed him and left him on the curb, with this supposedly fictional FBG Duck murder scenario being reenacted in the music video of the song too. The day that Von released the video, he would tweet saying that everything he says in his music is made up and that he's just rapping to make money for his family. And I'll be honest, I believe this is where we see Von's psychopathic tendencies really shining. Not only had he seemingly killed people and occasionally attempted to deny it on Twitter, but this time he had actually made a whole song and an entire narrative music video about him personally killing FBG Duck. This is someone he had openly been embroiled in a deadly feud for around a decade with at this point. Von was literally making videos telling the story of how he was going to kill FBG Duck, all while claiming on Twitter that his lyrics were just entertainment, but apparently they weren't. because allegedly behind the scenes, Von had put $100,000 of his hard-earned rap money up as a bounty on FBG Duck's head. This is the kind of behavior that makes me feel King Von really was a serial killer, because no amount of success in the rap game was enough for him to stop killing people. Instead, his compulsion to kill, or at least to commission killings, was just too strong. He would continue to allegedly use his resources to have people killed behind the scenes, all while attempting to maintain a somewhat clean public image, despite all of the music that he was releasing celebrating murder. The video for Took Her to the O would get 1 million views in 24 hours, and at this point Von was really one of the hottest prospects in the rap game, and fans would be hungry for his next full-length release, which came on March the 6th, 2020, when he dropped his new mixtape, LeVon James, named after the famed NBA legend LeBron James, who had become a fan of Von's music along with his son. And Von would troll his ops by even purchasing a promotional billboard for the project on 63rd, as well as releasing Not From 63rd merchandise. Unfortunately for Von, however, the project itself would end up debuting precisely at number 63rd on the Billboard charts. Sometimes I see stuff like this, and I just feel like it must have been
irony.
All the bad things he did in his life. Because this was his biggest
That's
career
hilarious.
But you know, he must have been furious to have ended up charting at the one number that he despises. And Von would never even publicly acknowledge or tweet the chart performance of this mixtape, probably for that reason that it went 63rd. But landing at 63rd on Billboard was still a great performance for a relatively new artist with such violent and raw content. The project itself would be laced with more aggressive drill anthems, like the track Down Me with Lil Durk, where Von raps about getting doctors to bring people back to life so he can kill them again, and killing so many ops that the surviving ones don't have any friends left. There would also be the song Broke Ops, where he seemed to reference calling for the hit on Can't Get Right. Then there was the track Don't Wanna Be Me, where Von explains that his mindset growing up had to be either him or me. He'd reminisce on hearing gunshots the night he moved into O Block as a child, and his experience growing up around killers and criminals and having to fight every day. He would rap about being devastated at the loss of his right-hand man T-Roy, and explaining how losing Sharoid, OD, and Platoon turned him into a killer in 2012, ultimately describing the gory details of the bloody couple of months of killing that he was allegedly involved in 2014. And during this time, Von also begun to post pictures of his friends from O Block posing with large wads of cash and referring to them as Get Back Gang Entertainment, further blurring the lines between the music and the real gang killing people in the streets. A week later, Von would appear on his girlfriend Asian Doll's song Pull Up, a track with jaw-dropping lyrics where Von claimed to have killed 7 people in total at this point, saying that if he catches 3 more, he's at double digits. A day after that release, Von would tweet that girls hook up with him just so that they can say that they were with a killer. Next, he appeared on the song Get Back Mode with O Block veteran Boss Top, where he rapped that he was stacking up bodies like Tetris. All of these murder anthems were doing numbers, and the money was rolling in for Von. He would graduate from buying his mother Gucci purses, soon flexing on Twitter that he had just bought her a brand new Mercedes and large suburban home. Von's career was going from strength to strength, and he was showing no signs of letting up. On April the 29th, 2020, he would drop his new single, Grandson for President, coming with lyrics where he says that they're trying to blame him for all the unsolved murders in his city. He'd rap that he's trying to kill all of the ops, and he would end his verse saying that he could kill you by rapping on the beat, or by shooting you in the street. And Von would promote the music video for this song on Instagram, adding a caption with 7 skulls, asking people how many they have, sparking speculation that this was him cryptically telling the world once again that he had killed 7 people to promote this song. A few days later, he appeared on the song Body Count with Mozzie and G Herbo, rapping that if you have a few bodies, everyone will know. A couple of days later, Von would tweet that he can't get a job now because he has more bodies than Tay-K, a teenage rapper who got 55 years for murder. Von would also tweet that he's done more hits than made hit songs. And then, on May 21st, 2020, a vlog was released which showed Von going back to O Block, aka Parkway Gardens, to hand out wads of cash to his gang. And it would later emerge that Von was providing drugs and guns to his old hood, and splitting the rewards with his crew, providing them with jewelry and luxury vacations in exchange for their work in the streets. Von clearly didn't care about broadcasting his activities to the world, and eventually, people began to take notice. On May the 22nd, YouTuber Trap Geek releases an iconic video on King Von titled The Soft-Spoken Assassin. This video essentially broke down Von's violent past and his rise to the top of the rap game.
One murder of a kid named Modell, allegedly, according to the internet detectives on Reddit, has King Von's name written all over it.
And Von didn't seem to initially appreciate the attention, tweeting that the videos these white people are all making about him aren't true, and calling them the cops, or 12. However, a month later, Von seemed to have a change of heart, and he would actually begin to use that nickname that Trap Geek gave him as a caption on his Instagram, declaring himself to be a soft-spoken assassin. 2 days later, Von tweeted that he still has people on his list, presumably referring to a list of people he still wants to kill. And it seems that the biggest name at the very top of that list was FBG Duck. Von had been going back and forth with Duck since high school and had a years-long grudge against him. He'd had a Twitter exchange with Duck the day before he'd allegedly killed KI, who was a close friend of Duck's, an exchange where Von said that he was also looking for Duck. In fact, a couple of months after King Von had released the music video for Took Her to the O, that video where he played out his fantasy of killing Duck, Duck would go live saying that he beat up Von on the school bus back in the day.
Beat your ass on the bus on Tuga.
Duck would also tell Von that he's only famous because of Lil Durk.
You come up under dirt. When y'all get mixing as Lil Durk homies.
But here's where things get chilling, because as Duck continues to mock Von in what seems to be a disrespectful, but at least not entirely death-threatening way, Von would pop up, following along live and demonically commenting on Duck's Instagram names of people that Get Back Gang had seemingly killed, and continuing to insult him throughout the entire live. It seemed like Von was plotting on having Duck killed for years. In November 2018, King Von would be on live, apparently in Lil Durk's Atlanta home, expressing his desire to see FBG Duck dead, saying that he would perform at his funeral whilst eating some cereal.
Yeah, cereal be busting shit. They say King Von featuring FBG Duck.
I said that's what they want to see, huh?
Stop that, man. I'll perform at his funeral.
We now know that Von had allegedly put up a $100,000 bounty on FBG Duck's head. And funnily
allegedly,
enough, Von tweeted throughout his career that his main goal was simply to make $100,000. And when Von was finally rich, less than a month before Duck was killed, he would tweet, "Von got the money, so Von gonna pay it to his brothers." And he would also later rap on the song Me and Doody Low that he gave out 100 so you can bet that they're coming. In July 2020, Von would also show off O-block chains that he had purchased for his friends from the famous hip-hop jewelry store Icebox, something that we now know may well have been an incentive provided to Von's shooters to continue to catch bodies for him. And soon, we would see the tragic reality of this situation playing out on the streets of Chicago in real time. On the afternoon of August the 4th, 2020, FBG Duck is shopping in the Gold Coast, a place that's been described as the Rodeo Drive of Chicago, a high-end and high-profile tourist shopping district. After being given Duck's location, 6 shooters were sent from O-Block to kill him. They were Charles Liggins, aka C-Murder, to Carlos Offord, aka Los Munna, Marcus Smart, aka Moowop, Christopher Thomas, aka C-Thang, Kenneth Robertson, aka Kenny Mack, and Zell Munna. After being provided with his location, 2 vehicles end up 30 minutes away from O-Block, pulling up to the location where Duck had been shopping. Then, at about 4:37 PM, Duck would be confronted outside of the Dolce & Gabbana store by a group of masked individuals hopping out of 2 cars and opening fire on Duck in broad daylight. A man and a woman who were standing with Duck at the time of the shooting were both injured, but fortunately survived. And someone would even post a 12-minute video depicting the crime scene immediately after Duck's death, with Duck being seen writhing in pain on the ground in the final moments of his life. Once again, this situation just drives home the destruction these killers were so willing to inflict on the streets that they lived in and to the fellow citizens who lived there with them.
I'm in the Gold Coast right now. They shot FBG Duck, man. I don't know who shot him, man. I just ran into this, y'all. Man. They shooting in the Gold Coast of Chicago, bro. Chicago is not a safe place to be. You cannot even go downtown and enjoy your day without violence, bro. Look at this, bro. Look at this, bro. That's a Chicago rapper, man, by the name of FBG Duck.
After Duck's passing, this brazen, broad daylight hit would make international news, with reporters comparing the killing to a Chicago mob boss hit from the 30s.
On August 4th, 2020, it looked like an old-time outfit attack here on Chicago's Oak Street. 2 attack cars, 4 shooters, and a hail of bullets. But the target wasn't a 1930s gangster, he was a new millennium rapper, FBG Duck.
It would appear that only 7 minutes after the killing of FBG Duck, King Von would tweet a goat emoji, seemingly congratulating himself for pulling off a hit that he had wanted to do for more than 10 years. This was quite possibly the 9th murder that King Von was responsible for, and the 11th that he had allegedly been connected to. And perhaps Von soon realised that he shouldn't be celebrating this one too hard, because the following day he would tweet denying being involved and saying that everybody blames him. Von would later tweet that him and Duck settled their differences before his death, suggesting that they were even going to make a song together. This to me seems like an obvious lie, once again showcasing the psychopathic tendencies that King Von had when it came to killing. In public, he would say anything he could to take the heat off himself and appear innocent, but behind closed doors, he had allegedly plotted paid for, and was celebrating Duck's murder. Von and other O-Block affiliates would go on to release song after song referencing the murder of Duck. The day after Duck's death, King Von and Dirk dropped their new song, All These N-Words, a track which doesn't have any specific lyrics pertaining to Duck, but in it, Von would rap about having bodies from way back, and the song's release essentially served as a victory lap for Von, Dirk, and anyone else who would have been happy about Duck's demise. OTF's Doody Low would reference people getting killed whilst shopping on the song Me and Doody Low with King Von saying outright on the track that he gave out 100,000 and sent his boys coming, as well as saying that somebody got left shot in public before being rushed to the hospital. With these 4 lines of rapping, Von essentially broke down the entire hit and the price he'd allegedly paid for it to happen. Von would also rap on the song Don't Miss with DQ that Duck got nailed, no hammers, as well as lyrics that seemingly refer to the funeral shooting and the killings of Modell and Doc. On the posthumously released track Shameless Remix with Boss Top, Von would also rap that he's ducking no beef, and even Lil Durk would later release the song Should've Ducked, dissing FBG Duck and saying that he's smoking him. Lil Durk would take things to the next level, even joking with country music star and collaborator Morgan Wallen that he loved duck hunting. This would lead to Wallen posting duck emojis on Dirk's post, and later being forced to apologise after being informed he'd actually been tricked into dissing Lil Durk's dead ops. After FBG Duck was killed, it seemed like King Von and his team truly felt invincible. And pretty much from here until the day he died, King Von didn't seem to care who knew.
What I'm saying, they don't know what the fuck they're doing hanging out with these people.
In his music and on social media, he would troll endlessly and hint towards him and his friends being real killers, seemingly oblivious or just not caring that the whole world was beginning to learn what he had done. In August, Von is on Instagram Live with DQ from O-Block saying that there's no more FBG.
All that dissing or saying something or even acting like y'all with some that y'all know for sure ain't with, I'ma smack that on y'all. I ain't gonna play like that. Then we know y'all ain't gangsta, y'all on the internet. We know y'all ain't gangsta, y'all ain't trying to do that. Ain't no more FB. Ain't that right, Big DQ? Ain't that right?
Von would also tweet that he knows the police have his phone tapped, and that all they'll find out is that he gives people money every day. Money for what though, Von? Von would also go on to tweet that 63rd was no more, and another saying you heard what they say I did, but I did worse, indicating that Von had done even more crimes that the public didn't know about. After this, we would see one famous example of King Von's crimes catching up with him in the music industry. He had actually been booked to perform at rap music festival Rolling Loud in 2020. However, the pandemic of 2020 would shut that down and see the festival unable to go ahead in person. So instead, Rolling Loud would end up hosting a digital live stream event with rappers in September of 2020. And as part of this event, King Von would be interviewed in a shocking segment where the hosts were asking him questions that had been sent in from the comments, with some bright Chiracologist submitting a question to the unsuspecting hosts, who would read it, asking Von if he would ever collab with names of people he was rumoured to have killed. With Von even being so amused by this question bringing up his old bodies, he would even go and find his trusty shooter Muwop, putting his face on camera to show the reaction to these clueless interviewers dissing their dead enemies.
They want to know if you do a feature with Modell, P5, Malcolm. You know them? Nah. No. Alright, never mind. He already told us about Tuka. He said Tuka one of his favorites to work with. About the Gleesh Place video.
Oh, Gleesh Place coming soon. And I do a feature with all of them. Tell them just send them money.
Oh my
god. We need that bag. 100 racks. 100 racks a feet.
I don't think they got it.
Oh my god.
100 racks.
He trolling them.
I be ticking. Y'all don't know me. Y'all don't know. I be tricking on this. Say the names who went through the features again.
He'd have to scroll up. I can't even see that.
Y'all listen to the names he said went through the feature.
We'll get a clip of it and we'll send it to you.
Alright, tell me names. Listen to the names he said want to do a feature with.
They want to know if you'd ever do a song with Young and Ace, Jada Youngin, and K. I don't know who that K artist.
No, say the other names you said.
You gotta scroll up so I can read that. Can you do that for me? Hold on. It was. No, scroll up a little more, If you do a feature with Modell, Tyreek, P5, or Malcolm.
That's crazy, bro.
Look out, folks, look.
That's a no, right? I'm assuming that's a no.
Hey, folks, to talk to you on some police.
I don't even. Who are those? Am I supposed to know who they are?
Man, them people is dead. You bogus. Now just left. What's that? Let's go to the next question.
No, that's crazy. They had me violate like that.
Hey, you with that? Fuck 63rd. Nah, just left.
The day after this, Von would tweet saying he wants clout. If you diss Von, he will put you in the clouds. Possibly another reference to FBG Duck's murder, whose nickname was, of course, Big Clout. A day after this, Von would take to Instagram Live, saying that he's tired of people judging him because of YouTube videos about him.
Yeah, I think y'all know me because I watch YouTube and y'all listen to what these people say.
See, that's why I stay in the loop too, because you can't let these kids play you. They be talking to you crazy. They be acting like you don't know shit. But that's why I'm an old head, but I stay in the loop, bro. Always. Nobody would be able to troll me talking crazy like that.
Y'all stupid. Oh, yeah. Y'all listen to what the people tell y'all. Them people try to make me bad. Them people trying to make them over there. It's cool. They do what they gotta do. Motherfucker, I do what they gotta do. Y'all don't know me. I ain't on no super tough, no super gangster. That's just what's going on. That's what I am. That's what's going on. So I'm laughing. I'm smiling around here. Because I'm super gangster.
This was an epic Instagram Live where Von would go in depth on a lot of things, showcasing both sides of his personality. He would say that he's really a gangster like the videos say, but that he's also smiling about it because it makes him laugh, before also reminding fans not to play with him because he really is dangerous.
I'm super gangster. I'm like that, but I ain't on that. You see what I'm saying? I'm smiling, I'm playing with y'all. But don't play with me like that. I don't play with nobody like that for real.
King Von would tell his fans that him and his O-Block homie Louis killed their ops.
King your little op. Dick sucking ass on King Dave. Got to fucking with them niggas on King Dave, King. Don't trip. We ain't even gonna talk about that no more. I wish Louis would rah. Nah, that's rah. Look at Louis Coop.
At this point, Von is seemingly hyped up and begins to ask the audience which ops he should talk about.
Man, who has to talk about this? I'm on the road today. I'll come right out there today. Who to talk about? Drop a name on my.
Von goes on to say that people are just mad because he's tough and handsome, and because he knows that he did violent things to people who are in the comments on this live. With Von even going as far as to say to his viewers, if he did something to you or your family, comment below.
Dog wants attention.
Hey, you hating? I know you hating on me. I know you be hating. I look like this, and I'm tough like I am. Ah, yeah. That shit hurt. And I did on it.
These new barbecue Doritos aren't bad. Got a little kick to them.
Yeah. That shit hurt. I got to say y'all name on it. Y'all gonna get looking. I got to comment. I'm gonna pin y'all. I did something to you. Let's see how far this guy. You ain't do shit to me. My cousin, maybe. Or if I did something to somebody, nah, this plan. We making this street shit look good. Man, this street shit all bad on King Dave. I done lost everybody on phone. Now, yeah. Everybody dying, everybody in jail, everybody dead. I'm paying for lawyers.
Von was really careless during this period of his life. He really comes across as if he never thought he would get caught, or as if he simply didn't realise that the whole world was listening to him. He would continue to tweet, saying that he would be ready to drop soon, and asking fans what they want him to drop, a song or an op. Then on the 4th of October, another Instagram Live of Von would surface, showing Von getting off a plane with one of the shooters accused of killing Duck, Muwop, with Von even telling fans that Muwop has all type of bodies.
This Muwop, he crazy. He got all type of bodies. No, just left.
Snitching him out.
Come on, Muwop. My mama, come on. My bodyguard. Come on, bodyguard.
On October the 9th, Von drops the song I Am What I Am with Fabio Foreign, rapping more lyrics seemingly referencing the murder of FBG Duck.
I am what I am.
Clout. The same day, Von would tweet, bragging to have done everything people say they did in the streets, and in Von's case, getting away with it. Then, on October the 14th, 2020, Von releases a song called Slide with another rapper called Yakiola. This song is a reinterpretation of FBG Duck's own hit song of the same name, Slide. But of course, Von would use his version of Slide to mock Duck. 2 days after that, he would tweet the word
I forget
Duck
like this shit didn't happen that long ago.
Himself ducking his head down. Clearly, all of Von's brazen activities in
Really
the
wasn't
streets
that long
and
ago.
online were indeed making him the target of an investigation.
I cried
Because
when
also
King
in
Von died.
October, Von was at the airport when he was
Call
seen
me
on
a bitch,
social
call me
media
whatever,
being
but
searched by the police and getting angry
I love
about
that.
the fact that he was
I
being
love that dude.
targeted.
I can get your ID one more time.
Take a picture of my badge.
Y'all want to
I can't speak how I want to speak or they're gonna cancel me.
Sure, sir. This is real quick. You took a picture of my ID, man.
I'm Puerto Rican, but I'm just not black enough apparently.
I'm trying to search me, folks.
You're blocking the path for
All right.
passengers to get through, so you gotta keep moving.
Police all on my dick. What the fuck wrong with these people? They took me out and searched my bed for some drugs, all type of shit. Hey, matter of fact, look. This took a picture of my ID, got my address and everything. This, I don't know this man, you see what I'm saying? You can remember his face. King Dog. Ball head up. I don't know what the fuck going on. I got on the planet time out.
Von would share a picture of the officer who searched him to Instagram, even tagging superstar hip-hop lawyer Drew Findling, who also defended Donald Trump. But clearly, Von wasn't worried, because the same day that footage was going around, he would also tweet that he has bodies from way back, perhaps taunting those very cops who were stopping him at the airport trying to solve these murders. Around this time, King Von would also do an interview where he seemed to suggest that he was making the most of his career because he knew the cops would eventually
They were trying to
work
get him
out
for
what
something.
he'd done and put him away.
I'm trying to go crazy real quick, but the feds come. What?
But not one to let some meddling cops get in the way of his booming rap career. A couple of days later, Von would drop his debut studio album, Welcome to O Block, on October the 30th, 2020,
Best album
a
out.
date which coincidentally was the anniversary of T-Roy's birthday and the murder of P5. Welcome to O Block had some bold songs, where Von would hint further at the crimes he'd allegedly committed. And ironically, the very first lyric of that album would see Von admitting that the cops are onto him. By this point, Von's lyricism
Please be
was
steady
sharp
watching
as
me.
it had ever been. And he really did have a talent for using music to communicate the dark reality behind the life that he had lived. Another line on that opening track, Armed and Dangerous, really stuck out to me, where Von raps that he has inflicted tragedies, massacres, and casualties
Portion
on
control,
his
people,
odds,
portion
admitting
control.
that he did a lot of things to people that he can't remember, but he knows that they remember him. He would reminisce on October 2012 when he had allegedly killed numerous people, rapping that people were dying all of October and that it's the real Halloween. There was also the track Demon, where Von would open up about becoming a killer after the death of his friend White White. A track featuring a lyric where he claimed to have killed 7 people, saying bodies I got a few, 4 plus 3, 3 plus 2. This is a line a lot of people assumed meant 7 kills and 5 assists, or killings that he was present for. But my interpretation of this would actually be that it's Von saying that he killed 7 people personally before he became a rapper, and 5 people who were killed by his crew, either while he was allegedly present, like in the case of Lil Mark, or allegedly on his orders, like would have been the case with FBG Duck. Hell, some people would even count Dooski to King Von's body count.
I want to make a
because
bong
after
out
all,
of this.
Von would claim that he was smoking Dooski after his death, having tweeted not long before that that you can only smoke somebody if you had something to do with killing them. If you include that, that would make a full 12 bodies that King Von has been associated with over the years. Combine that with the fact that Von would end this song by boldly saying FBG Duck, then I think it becomes pretty clear that he's trying to take responsibility for this killing. Another song on the album called The Code would see King Von rapping about splitting $100,000 with his team and being goated. A line that hits different when you know that he allegedly paid $100,000 to have Duck killed and tweeting a goat emoji immediately after the murder took place. Von would only be alive for around a week following the release of this project, but recording numerous songs and freestyles that referenced his alleged murders, like King Von's Audio Mac Bless the Booth freestyle, where he straight up rapped that he had 7 bodies. On the 2nd of November, he would tweet that people want to kill him with a yawning emoji. Clearly, Von was not scared. In fact, one of the very last things that Von did was an interview with DJ Academics, and a big part of this interview was the discussion of Von's beefs. Academics would press Von about his earlier tweets, suggesting that Von had been lying about him and FBG Duck squashing their beef, with Von denying that he was lying and suggesting that somebody else had deleted their DMs.
You know you and Duck didn't make up. His mom came out. They said you and Duck.
Gang, how you gonna tell? See that this ain't right. Gang, how
his
y'all
mom
gonna
said his mom said that would never happen.
His mama was not there. I ain't never met his mama. I don't know his mama. You see what I'm saying? I've talked to him. You see what I'm saying? And then they deleted all our DMs, so I can't show them the. I don't know why they do that.
From here, a flustered King Von would try and sidestep his past beef with Duck, saying that they just went to school together.
They just make it look real crazy to y'all. These just really people we all went to school with.
Nah, that shit do look crazy to me. I kid you not.
That's how they make it. But
like, yo,
you gotta understand, like you said, they right there down the street. We went to school. It ain't that serious, you know. And then, you know, it's just that we ain't cool no more. It was, you know, but it ain't that serious. Like, it's to the point where let's talk about it. It ain't. Both of us rapping, we can figure something out. We need to stop all the violence, all the shit. That shit. We got a voice, you see what I'm saying? Like, if we tell Chicago fall back, tell Chicago fall back.
Eventually, academics would ask Von how he felt when he heard about Duck's death, and Von would start slowly eating cereal, saying that he was hurt by Duck's death in an incredibly unconvincing manner.
Were you saddened by the news that he was murdered then?
Man, that shit hurt. I didn't go to sleep that night.
He lying like a motherfucker. He trolling.
Can't believe that.
At a certain point, Von tells
He's
academics
trolling,
to hold
bro.
on. He would then point the camera away from his face, and we would
He's
hear what
trolling.
sounds like Von and his friends laughing off camera. And before Von came back on camera, for a very brief moment, we got a glimpse of Von's friend from O Block, BJ, laughing in the background.
Hold on, man. Oh, let's talk about some other shit though. Let's talk about some other shit though.
Yeah, they just trolling. They're smart. They know Feds is watching.
I can't help but notice the fact that Von is eating cereal whilst discussing the killing of Duck.
Wait, you eat
Who cares?
Just cereal straight out the box, no milk?
I'm a gangster.
I've said it before that I believe Von was a serial killer, but honestly, he's mentioned cereal so many times during his career, it really wouldn't surprise me if this was some kind of cryptic message that he was using to signal to fans that he saw himself as a serial killer, with Duck as his latest victim. He would strangely tweet about how much he loves his cereal after a series of alleged murders in 2012, even tweeting that eating cereal is the first thing he does after shooting someone. He would promote Dirk's cereal whilst they were both on the run from the Atlanta shooting at the Varsity,
I had
telling
those.
people on Twitter to buy the cereal whilst waving a clip of a gun, and regularly posting himself on social media eating cereal. And he would also be eating cereal when he told the world that he wanted to perform at FBG Duck's funeral.
Yeah, cereal be busting, so. They say King Von featuring FBG Duck.
I said that's what they want to see, huh?
Stop that, man. I'll perform at his funeral.
Then, when we finally saw the actual murder of FBG Duck and academics asked him about it, at that very moment, Von would decide to start eating cereal too. Maybe it's a stretch, but that day when academics called Von, he probably knew he would be asked about FBG Duck. And he made sure to have that box of cereal within arm's reach so that the whole world would see him crunching on cereal at that exact moment. Sadly for Von, soon after this interview,
I think he's
he would end
overthinking
up
it.
on the other side of the gun.
You're in
Getting
too
shot
deep, my
himself
guy.
and ultimately
You're in
losing
too
his
deep.
life. But in a final twist of irony, it would turn out that
Cereal
despite
just
the
really is
so
that
many
busting, bro.
murders
I
in
love
Sun
cereal
City,
too. It's my
Von
one
would seemingly
weakness,
end
even
up
going to
losing
the
his
gym.
life in an altercation in another state, and as a result of a petty rap beef that had nothing to do with his violent past in the street. Throughout King Von's career, he was connected to a female rapper by the name of Asian Doll, with fans often speculating
Asian Doll's
on whether their supposed
gets
relationship
tossed around
with
the
King
industry
was
like a
simply
record
fake
deal.
Celebrity romance for clout. Apparently, Asian met King Von just after Lil Durk had signed to the same label as her, with the label arranging a celebrity basketball game where Durk would bring Von onto the court whilst Asian Doll was on the sidelines.
It's the first time I saw we was in just a basket. It's out here. We was in New York. I seen little booty over there in the square. Look. You know, I ain't saying nothing to her. She was looking decent and she was looking good. But I ain't saying nothing to her. And she was like that hooping and then they ain't had no jewelry and all that, no money like that. So I'm like, she had a big ass Gucci glasses, Gucci this and Gucci that. And we was playing basketball against Meek and them, me and Dirk. Oh.
Dirk had just got signed to my label, Alamo. So they're like, Asian, we having a celebrity basketball game. Do you want to do it? I'm like, hell yeah. I'll play basketball because they know I used to play basketball. So when they told me who to play, they like Meek Mill, Dirk. But so I remember Bones playing basketball. They playing, we sit on the side. He was playing so much rough. I'm like, why the f is he so rough? He was playing rough, y'all. Like, he was rough. Like, he was jumping up. He was doing all type of rough shit. He probably was trying to show out the whole time for me. I ain't know. I'm looking at his ass like he crazy.
Apparently, King Von would see Asian Doll again in the studio and at a release party with Lil Durk, where they would flirt and eventually agree to go on a date.
But then I see her again at the studio. She did a feature with Dirk. And I'm steady flirting with her, trying to talk to her. She laughed and shit. Then I see her again. Now I'm fake drunk at the release party for Dirk album. I see her. But I ain't know she was fake talking to somebody else right there. But I'm on her. I'm off the the licking and shit. So I'm grabbing her hand, trying to talk to her. Oh.
Von just kept bothering me. And then I'm just like, bro, who is this boy? He just kept bothering me, bro. Bothering me. We walking out, y'all. I don't even know this man. This man got his hand around my waist. I'm like, whoa.
Now, I take Dirk's phone, I get in his DM, like, talk to my brother. Ooh.
Yeah.
Then she
DM
ain't talking
from
to
Dirk.
him. Oh, man, talk to my
Brother, who I'm taking that idea and shit.
It's him. That's
She said-
hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. I said no a million times. No, bitch. I said no so much I got tired of saying no. I'm like, let me go on a date with you. As soon as I said okay, this man Bun called me in seconds.
She sent the number and I was saying she live in Atlanta. Now, when I go to the crib, now Dirk out of town. He left his truck in my car. He got a track car, baby, raw. So I got Dirk's car today. So I go pick up and I tell her I'm gonna take her out. And
King Von would actually pick up Asian for their first date in Lil Durk's Jeep Trackhawk, the very same truck that they caught their attempted murder charge in Atlanta. But in the end, the date between Asian Doll and King Von was apparently a success.
You know I ain't slow. I knew the Dirk car. I ain't thinking like, oh my God, he got a car. They got 300 on it. I'm like, that's per car. Because I had already seen Dirk post a car. But it was so cute because I'm like, these sticking together, that's crazy. They like, Dirk helping him out, letting him to the car for the weekend just so it can impress me.
so I got a little money. I only had I was up at the time, I had like $600 in my shit. And a little outfit, a nice little outfit. I put that on. Took some of Dirk cologne and shit. Took his con shower and go pick up, took out to eat and shit.
So he came pick me up. He kept calling, making sure I was gonna get ready. He like, get ready. After the day you get cold. So he had his jacket on. He was trying to give me his jacket, but he was cold. So I just got under his jacket with him. And then it's like my chest touched his chest. Our hearts touched each other's hearts. Everything just connected when I hugged him after the first date. And then we went to the house.
They would make a connection and eventually make their relationship official. Asian Doll would even release a song called Grandson about King Von on Valentine's Day 2019, with him appearing in the music video. In a March 2019 interview with Lil Durk, a shy King Von would reveal publicly that he was indeed dating Asian Doll.
King Von, I'm saying he in a relationship too.
Shout out Asian Dad.
Okay. Yeah, he go ahead. Yeah.
You heard it here, man.
That ain't last long.
Looking at you like, come on, man.
Why'd you do it?
Von would go on to drop light-hearted tweets about his super savage friends laughing at people who only knew him online as Asian Doll's boyfriend. But the two of them would indeed be an item, and she would need to deal with the baggage of dating a super savage. When Von got arrested for attempted murder, Asian would be in tears over her boyfriend's incarceration.
I've been on the plane for 20 hours. Everybody. I was crying. I miss my boyfriend, my husband, everything. But I'm better. He want me to be out here turned up, so I got all my crying out on the plane. Now I'm finna just turn up.
Von would even call Asian Doll from jail, joking that he would be beating her up when he gets home.
Free my jail. I miss him. Man, what? Talking about who I'm talking about? You. I'm always talking about you.
This shit long as hell.
I was catching some shit. I'm like, nah, this ain't talking about me. Okay.
What? So you crazy. If it was good, yeah, I'm talking about you.
I don't get no fucking bad. That's the thing. I don't know good, bad.
If it's bad, I'm on there with yours. I'm being
Talk
ass.
about me if it's bad. Don't talk about nobody else.
Nah, I'm just gonna be ass first, ask questions later if it's bad. I ain't got time.
I'm already beating your ass when I get out. You don't even know.
You not beating me up. We're not gonna do that.
Eventually, Von would return home and be reunited with Asian Doll, but ironically this time it would be Asian getting Von in trouble. While out on bail for that attempted murder, King Von would end up getting into a fist fight with a man in a studio who had apparently called Asian Doll a bitch, being sent back to jail for a brief period.
Somebody called my girlfriend a bitch yesterday. Tell him what happened to my hand, bro.
Folks overbeat his ass.
And despite Von winding up in jail for it, it would appear that Asian Doll would actually appreciate Von's protection, calling him her bodyguard on Twitter, with Von himself saying that he wishes she wasn't a rapper so that he could keep her home and protect her, saying that he doesn't trust her around other rappers.
But isn't it nice to have somebody in the same industry as you?
No, that ain't. I'd rather have. I wish I can't say I wish she wasn't a rapper, nothing like that. But it'd be better if I knew that she's at the house instead of going around all these people that ain't around and. Damn, what's going on? Now I'm just thinking, hey, damn, what the fuck she doing? Why she answering the phone?
And that's how she be feeling.
She feel the same way. I just said that.
No, I understand. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I wish my nigga was in the damn house.
No.
Oh, so it's been times where you didn't like a nigga and she had to work with him.
I'm not gonna say nothing because you gotta be
Feel like I gotta
You gotta be for sure with yourself,
yeah.
man. I know I'm that. So
Von was clearly very possessive about Asian Doll, even tweeting that he would kill somebody for messing with her. With that in mind, it's no surprise that eventually it would be another rapper that would seemingly get in between Von and Asia, and that rapper would be none other than Baton Rouge gangster rap superstar NBA Youngboy. Now, King Von had a strange relationship with Youngboy over the years. King Von would be dissing NBA Youngboy all the way back in February 2019.
You for Youngboy? Why? I'm just damn. Hang up on your ass. Well, you feel like you cheating? Go ahead, say you f***ing, I'm gonna hang up on your ass. Don't, I just laugh. You f***ing it up?
Yeah,
He cool, right?
so I can't speak on
He ain't all that, is he, though?
What's up? What you trying to say? Like,
I'm just trying to see how you feel about the He cool.
he's straight. He's straight. He ain't better than you. He ain't better than you.
Yeah, for sure. Cause he don't be doing shit. I ain't gonna do it, cause he be hating.
In March 2019, King Von would also diss Youngboy again on social media, saying that his music is full of lies.
Youngboy talking about on this song, bro.
What?
He talking crazy on this man.
Oh, yeah?
He ain't even like that.
Oh!
On his ass now.
On his ass.
You got Cap.
That's the only one Youngboy couldn't fuck
rap.
with is King Von.
You got Cap in your rap.
But at other times, it seemed that Von quite admired
100%.
Youngboy. He'd often play his music and even tweeted welcome home to him in August when he was freed, as well as being seen on social media copying several of Youngboy's mannerisms and quotes.
Boys, my grandma raised me. You hear me? You know I ain't no hoe. What up?
My grandma raised me.
Oh shit.
You know I ain't no hoe.
Perhaps King Von was looking to catch Youngboy lacking rather than admiring him.
Alright, let's finish
The
this
beef
off.
that would take his life.
Skip the Asian Doll bullshit.
Barely a week after the release
Kai
of
just
his
went
debut
live.
album,
I want to
Welcome
watch
to
Kai.
Oblock, King Von's story would come to an abrupt end. The week before his death, King Von
Close
would be
this out.
reflecting on Instagram just how far he'd come and reminding himself to enjoy these times because he knew there would be hard times coming.
Going through this, just losing so many people, gang. I lost so many people, man, going through this. Man, crazy. But now look where we at right now. You see what I'm saying? Like times like this, you gotta take it in. I just told my homie them, y'all gotta take this in. You see what I'm saying? Looking for them. I'm here with day one. This shit, and we in this winning, man. And we living on King Day. And we ain't dead, and we ain't in jail, and we ain't broke, and we ain't, you know. Life, you gonna be down again. Like I'm up right now. It's gonna be times. I'm gonna go through some more. I'm gonna go through some. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna think back to this time. I could always reflect on this time, like.
Oh.
Everything was going good in my life. Everything was going.
Other paw?
That time, everything going good right now. Like right now, everything going good. I ain't got no complaints. I ain't mad about nothing. I know I done lost a shit. I don't understand a lot of shit, but I ain't even mad about it.
Sadly, the good times would end suddenly, and Von would end up losing his life at the very height of his career. His album Welcome to Oblock had debuted at the unlucky number 13 on the Billboard charts, ironically just one position above NBA Youngboy's album Top, that had already spent 8 weeks on the chart after going number 1. Then, just after midnight on the 5th of October 2020, Von would tweet his location for the evening. He was playing a show at Atlanta club Opium. Von would go live on Instagram on the way to the club, seemingly in good spirits and rapping along to his own music.
I cried.
He would do a live pre-show with the name of the club.
Fucking cried this day.
He would be seen on Instagram, posted up, smoking hookah with his entourage of Oblock natives. He would go on to play that concert at Opium, where he would be seen jamming out on stage at the club, surrounded by his team and shouting out somebody in the crowd for wearing Not From 63rd merch, as well as dissing girls who were acting stuck up at the front of the show.
Man, I see everybody in this y'all can act like y'all don't see a motherfucker. But I see a motherfucker in this bitch gang. I see you got that 63rd shirt back there, my This shit, no, I got get back game. I don't know this. This got the get back game. I love that. I love you, gang. Hey, you know, it's all love in this up shit.
I gotta find one of those.
That on that Welcome to Oblock, that going crazy. I don't want to take nobody, you know what the going on. Stretch gang, there's a lot of bad hoes in here. I've been walking through them. Damn, it's decent shit in here. You know? Slow down. You know, we trying to party and have fun in this bitch, I ain't gonna lie. We got the little bougie, they acting bougie right here. They right here. Y'all better stop that bitch.
Oh, and I know what y'all gonna say too. How can you like a serial killer? Double standard. How come these bitches can like Ted Bundy and fucking what's the other one's name? Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah, how come women can like I like King Von, okay?
That's what we finna tee up.
Double standard.
I got DJ Bands in this.
Just after 1 AM, King Von would retweet a Young and Ace lyric with a caption saying that his crew are going to catch somebody, and he sees them as food. Because while King Von is performing at Opium, Quando Rondo and his entourage are fresh off recording a new music video for the song The Drop, being seen on social media showing off an array of high-powered weapons that they're holding onto. After finishing his show, King Von would be seen leaving Opium in an SUV.
I gotta
and
go to the gym too.
That truck can be heard playing the NBA YoungBoy song My Window as it was driving away.
There'll be a lot of cars behind him. Stop playing!
Apparently Von would confuse his team by choosing not to go back to his Airbnb as his security crew initially thought. Instead, Von would take a last-minute and unexplained detour to the Monaco hookah lounge where Quando Rondo was, with King Von's manager, 100K Track, later telling DJ Vlad that his team was blindsided by the change in plan.
He went over there to the after party, and then his driver and his homeboy let us know that we was redirected. We're thinking we're going to go to the Airbnb or the hotel.
At around 3:20 on November the 6th, King Von would find himself outside the Monaco hookah lounge in Atlanta. Perhaps he knew Quando Rondo would be there, or perhaps it was just a coincidence. All we know is that while there, Von approached Quando Rondo and began assaulting him with a flurry of punches, with Quando's close friend Lil Tim opening fire and striking King Von 4 times. Security footage of the fight and subsequent shooting would circulate online after the incident. What happened that night is that Von walked up to Quando Rondo and sucker punched him outside the club and proceeding to beat him up in front of a huge crowd. But after throwing a few
I don't know why he would say sucker punch. If you walk up to somebody and you're looking them in the face and you punch them, that's not a fucking sucker punch. Sucker punch is when you hit somebody from the side or behind them. No, he walked up to him, he had beef with him, and he punched him in the face. Like, what are you talking about?
Punches, Quando's friend Lil Tim would jump out of a car and shoot King Von 4 times. Von's friends from O Block, Slutty and Louie would attempt to shoot Lil Tim, leaving him wounded but not dead. After shooting Lil Tim to the ground, they would attempt to execute him on the floor, but the gun would jam. Whilst this is going on, a wounded King Von continues to wrestle with Quando Rondo on the floor. At this point, Von's other friend Muwop would approach, punching Quando Rondo to the ground and separating him from Von. Meanwhile, after failing to execute Lil Tim, Slutty and Louie would attempt to flee the scene, without realizing that they were running directly towards undercover police officers who would open fire, believing that their lives were in danger too. The police would kill Slutty and leave Louie in critical condition. Muwop and other O-Block members would drag King Von's limp body to a waiting car and rush him to the hospital. But what's even more crazy is that Quando Rondo would take Lil Tim to the very same hospital that King Von and his team were at, with Quando Rondo even going live, showing himself trying to get Tim into the hospital and get assistance. PHF Bezu would later post saying that he'd seen Quando at the hospital, suggesting that they would have shot him if he didn't start recording. But ultimately, King Von would be rushed into emergency surgery in critical condition after the shooting. He would ultimately die in hospital, with media all around the world waking up to the news and reporting on his death.
Yeah, Rick and
I woke up in the morning and I thought it was a fucking lie. I thought it was a joke.
Nightclub before making their way here to Monaco hookah
I thought it wasn't real, bro.
Believe it or not, this all playing out right in front of 2 Atlanta.
And I remember too because I was watching Little Durk's live. Little Durk had a live going on and he was like in a car, Little Durk was, and we were all typing in his chat that King Von got shot, King Von got shot. I remember typing it in his chat. Like, I was spamming it in his chat. And so was, like, mad other people. And then he read it and ended the live.
Oh, next to us, patrol car.
This shit didn't happen that long ago. It's a few years ago, bro. I can't believe it's been that long. But 3 years is nothing.
The investigation on this shootout will continue. No officers were injured during this incident. According to GBI, this is the 82nd officer-involved shooting that they've been requested to investigate in 2020.
After King Von died, some of the friends of people Von was rumoured to have killed would post on social media. Billionaire Black would post a picture of Modell McCambry, and the person who was shot with Modell the night he was killed posted a picture of FBG Duck, saying that Duck would be happy greeting Von in the afterlife. P5, aka Crack's cousin, would post on Facebook saying that he had been praying for the day that King Von will be killed, whilst other friends of Crack would post tributes now that their friend's killer was no longer alive. Apparently, Crack's little brother would even post saying that they caught 2 of the 3 people who were present when Crack was killed, and suggesting that they were disappointed not to be the ones who killed Von. Outside of Chicago, affiliates of NBA YoungBoy like Big B would mock King Von in an Instagram story, saying that it was funny that he was the one who started the beef and dissing NBA YoungBoy, and now he was the one dead.
The joke's on you, you diss, now you getting wrapped down. Yeah. Yeah.
Meanwhile, people on Von's side would express their heartbreak at losing their main man. Asian Doll claimed to want to die when the news came out, and Lil Durk would mourn the loss of his twin. Even rap's #1 superstar Drake would post a tribute to Von after he passed. NBA Youngboy's biggest enemy, Fredo Bang, would also mourn the loss of Von too. 12 days after his final tweet, somebody would take control of King Von's Twitter account, releasing a statement thanking everybody who supported Von whilst he was alive. There would be a media frenzy around King Von's death. Funeral homes were also refusing to take King Von's body due to fears of violence at the ceremony. And when the family finally found a place that was willing to host the funeral for Chicago's most famous killer, they were forced to have it at 1 day's notice. Eventually, Von would get the peaceful burial his family had hoped for, with Von being laid to rest in Chicago on November 14th, 2020, with pictures of Von's funeral program and casket being posted on social media. But being such a divisive figure in Chicago gang politics, Von's enemies continue to disrespect his gravesite to this very day. Naturally, Von's death sparked a strong response from many of his supporters. 600 Breezy claimed to be headed to NBA Youngboy's hood at 150 miles an hour with the Steppers. BJ, who was also shot the night that King Von was killed, would also post saying that their ops are cursed now that O-Block is after them. Meanwhile, NBA Youngboy affiliate Michi replied and said that people only really slide in silence.
Right there all day, nigga, doing no hell, scary, nigga, doing all that capping, get on that, all that shit, man, real don't speak. Hey, if you go do something, man, do something. You don't come to no city and annihilate you in a city, man. You was supposed to slab out that, man.
Von was eventually memorialized in his native O-Block with a painting that became a tourist spot. This mural became a pilgrimage for both die-hard fans who wanted to show their love and death-defying ops who wanted to show that they're not scared to come to O-Block, with longtime rival FBG Cash posting up at the mural with a disrespectful caption towards Von, with Cash himself ending up being killed only months later. Once a few months passed from Von's death, his self-proclaimed twin Lil Durk would dedicate his next album, The Voice, to King Von, releasing it on December 24th, 2020, with a front cover that depicted Durk and Von together. And eventually, Quando Rondo would break his silence about his involvement in the incident that claimed King Von's life. On the 20th of November 2020, Quando Rondo releases the song End of Story, a song that's title is a disrespectful play on Von's most popular song, Crazy Story. And in the song, Quando touches on the incident that ended up taking King Von's life, expressing frustration about being judged and saying that other people's friends wouldn't have defended him like Lil Tim did, as well as essentially dissing King Von and his friends, saying, "Blood on your brother on the ground, go pick your mans up," as well as rapping that him and Tim are claiming self-defense and that Von should have never put his hands on Quando. He would also claim that this situation led to a $1 million bounty being put on his head. And following the release of this song, he would also elaborate further on the events that unfolded that night in an extended interview with Angela Yee, speaking on the situation, saying that the night that Von was killed, he thought he was just letting a group of random people walk past before being suddenly sucker punched by Von.
Like, I'm thinking it's some regular individual. Next thing you know, a nigga hit me.
Quando would say that the entire incident felt like an out-of-body experience to him.
It's like I had an out-of-body experience.
Quando would also claim that the moment that King Von came over and started to fight with him, he felt like the devil was coming to get him.
Like, it's like the devil was coming to get me, like...
Quando explained to Angela Yee that Lil Tim was his
King Von is a demon.
He would protect him from anything.
One thing about it, he gonna protect me with anything, which anybody should do.
Apparently, while the gunshots were going off, Quando says that he prayed, unaware of what was going on and only coming to his senses after both Von and Tim had been shot.
On some out loud screaming jive, like out of body experience. It's like everything went back normal and I've been back down.
Quando was adamant that he didn't even know that it was King Von that he'd been fighting until the next day.
I didn't know this was him. Ma'am, I swear to God, on my soul, ma'am, like, ma'am.
Quando would also say that he didn't know about the beef between Youngboy's camp and King Von's camp when this all went down.
Cause I know dude just dropped the tape. Like, was they trying to do something to me? Just boost him up or like, what? I don't know.
You just don't know where. You just don't know where it came from. You have no idea.
However, unfortunately for Quando Rondo, there would be more tragedies headed his way personally following the death of Von. In the aftermath, Quando Rondo and his team would be a frequent target of what appeared to be revenge attacks. He would be targeted in a shooting at a convenience store in Georgia on the 2nd of May 2021, luckily escaping without injury. But in the next incident, Quando would be less lucky. On August the 20th, 2022, Quando Rondo and his entourage would be targeted in a shooting in Los Angeles, an incident which left his close friend Lil Pab dead and a devastated Quando Rondo being recorded at the scene in the immediate aftermath. King Von's life was one of extremes. He grew up in extreme poverty with a major disadvantage. He found himself being drugged into the extremely violent streets of Chicago.
Wow.
And he ended up
I appreciate everybody who stuck around for this.
Killers in O-Block's history.
Y'all
By
are the
time
real
he died,
goats.
He'd been connected to at least 11 murders that I've read about. But ultimately,
just
we'll
watch this
probably never
4-hour
know the
freaking
full
series
extent
today.
of Von's activities in the streets. There's no doubt that Von was a prolific gangbanger and shooter, but having spent so much time analysing him and the things that he did in his life, it's hard to ignore the pleasure and pride that he seemed to get, not just from killing, but being known as a killer. An everyday gang member or even mob hitman tends to kill for survival or money. But for Von, reading all of his tweets and lyrics, it's clear that he derived a great deal of psychological pleasure from the killings that he was associated with. It seemed like he was more satisfied by carrying out a hit in the streets than making a hit record. And perhaps that's why, when he got rich and famous as a rapper, he couldn't leave that in the past. Because he wasn't killing to survive, he was killing for fun, and gaining satisfaction from the whole world knowing what he had done. There was no reason for Von to take so much pleasure in the murder of Can't Get Right, and there really was no reason for Von to put a $100,000 bounty on FBG Duck's head. Von would have been a millionaire by this point, and FBG Duck was also a successful rapper in his own right. Duck wasn't a threat to the survival of Von or any of his friends at this point. No, to Von, Duck was just another trophy, another body on his tally, another score on the board. Sadly, many people look up to King Von for what he did in the streets, but I don't think that's much different from how other serial killers seem to get idolized. Someone like Jeffrey Dahmer was known for targeting black gay men in his community.
What did I just say?
The fact that he knew he could get
I'm
away
so
with.
sick of
When it
being
comes to
right
King
all the
Von's alleged
time.
victims, it seems like he had a type too. Young black men, women,
double
in the same
standard.
poor and overpopulated area he was from. Because perhaps like Jeffrey Dahmer, Von knew that the cops simply didn't care enough.
I need to start
solve
making
these
videos
crimes,
like this,
so
y'all.
He knew he would get away with it, and he did get away with it for his entire life. Von would beat every murder investigation that his name was ever placed in. But if he was alive today, he very well may have been facing a life in prison.
He would have
for
been
his
in jail.
role in the killing of FBG Duck. Von gave the world a lot of great music that told one of the most unique and raw stories to have ever come out of the Chicago drill scene. Von will definitely be remembered as one of the biggest and best rappers to ever emerge out of the city. He made great music, but also did terrible things. And so realistically, he'll probably also be remembered as rap's very first serial killer.
I almost want to cry. Holy shit. I almost want to cry. Holy shit, bruh.
www. Wait. Oh, shit.
Kai.
I think it's here. Okay. I got a question.
Is
my shit fake? Like, I feel like her shit like fits her more like a hockey jersey. Like, I don't want my shit to be like. Is my shit fake?
Shit is.
No, don't say that. No, bro. What? Bro, what? Wait, whoa. Don't say that, bro. Bro, don't say that, bro. Don't say that. Can somebody link me her merch website? I forgot where I didn't forget where I copped it from.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go feed the doggo. I will see y'all later. I gotta go take care of some stuff. Peace.
Yo, it's Lino, Rivy. Go. We be spinning like a top, call it merry-go-round. We be spinning up your block, call it merry-go-round. And your best friend, she a eater, told me merry-go-round. And we toss her to the team, and the team go to town. We be spinning like a top, call it merry-go-round. We be spinning up your block, call it merry-go-round. And your best friend, she a eater, told me merry-go-round. And we toss her to the team, and the team go to town. I said we toss her to the team, and the team go to town. I just lift her ass up, then I lift her ass down. I be moving all this weight, I be moving all this pounds, and I never touch a bale unless it's 200 an ounce. And I'm walking around white tee, shoes, patent leather. Don't deliver to your bitch unless her ass bring me that cheddar. And I need to see that money, show me 150 or better. If you playing with my money, I'ma put you on a sweater, I'ma put you on a letter, I'ma put you on a coat. Yeah, it's Frankie Marcelino, and I promise I'm the GOAT. If you playing with my money, and I swear you going ghost. Get up off my comments, I'm alone up on this post. I be loving this attention, I just use it for my fuel. I be fucking with these ratchets, but you swear I'm not a tool. I be moving so much weight that they be calling me a mule. They be saying I'm the shit, but I be sitting on this stool.